I don't think in my 4 years of living in New York, the weather has been this good for this long. I know we had a little moment. We had a moment where it was a little I was a little nervous this week. I was like, all right, weather's been great. It's gonna be a great weekend. College football's on. Set the TV up outside, watch the games, hang out with some friends, and then it rained, and then it rained again, and then it actually rained a third time, and I was like, it's over. Like the weather's finally here. Baseball is gonna get delayed. The Mets are gonna have to play 2 games in a back-to-back day or a doubleheader day, and that's gonna ruin their season. But luckily, the rain and the weather seems to be holding, at least for a couple more days, as this storm is coming through the south and hitting the Carolinas. But yeah, I mean, I think today of all days,
it was beautiful this morning. It was.
I mean, I think if you are a sports fan and you are an American sports fan specifically, we have probably one of the best days of college football this year, which for everyone who is having to go to an event of some kind, whether that's a wedding or maybe a seminar or something like that, instead of being able to watch college football right now, I feel bad for you. But we also have the Ryder Cup, right? And the Ryder Cup, which isn't going great right now for the U.S., but the Ryder Cup is one of the best events every year. And, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think today, if you are a sports fan, it is a great day to be alive. And, I mean, the weather also doesn't hurt whatsoever.
It doesn't.
No, especially with, I feel like late September, mid-October. I feel like with basketball, I was talking about this with Barrett and Griffin 2 weeks ago. I feel like basketball kind of dominates everything. Obviously, football and baseball are important, but I just feel like basketball, it's just something about it where it's just it dominates every other sport. It'll dominate football, it'll dominate baseball off season. So I feel like this is the perfect time for sports, up until late October when
it's 100% the perfect time. I mean, you have football starting, you have fan bases either loving their lives, or if you are a certain New York sports fan, hating your life. And
Kurt's catching strays.
Kurt is catching strays because I'm saying these and staring right at Kurt as I say them.
Kurt,
but
the Mets are bad.
Well, we're gonna get into that. But I mean, it's a great time, right? You have college football if you haven't gotten into college football yet, granted, I was shoved into the college football life by my roommate. Shout out Barrett Spitzer. But college football is great right now. NFL. The postseason's coming up, which I believe is one of the best behind hockey for postseasons and playoffs in U.S. sports. And then you also have if you're into soccer, you have soccer starting. WNBA playoffs are getting soon. I think they're on their way, right? Oh yeah, the Mercury the Mercury.
Yeah, they just meet the Liberty. Yeah,
they are on their way. Because we talked about this earlier. Because guess what my Mercury did to Kurt?
Poor Kurt. He can't catch a break.
Guess what my Mercury did to Kurt?
I think we broke Kurt.
Kurt's catching strays right now. I apologize, Kurt. But yeah, I mean, I think we have a great weekend. We have a great show lined up. I mean, how are you guys feeling right now? I mean, my energy's up. I woke up early, excited. I saw the sunrise and it wasn't cloudy, and I was like, this is unbelievable.
No, definitely. I feel like if we're putting the Mets just, I feel like as a unbiased general sports fan, this is a really, really good time for sports.
It is. I'm
sure you could share the same sentiment, Luis, but I'm excited to talk sports.
I'm so excited, especially Max keeps on bringing up the weather. When I had a late night,
I'm probably gonna jinx it, but
it'll rain tomorrow.
It's gonna rain. It's gonna be horrible. No, it's just great to be because I woke up. I'm kind of down. My energy's down. I'm getting up to get my coffee. I'm not happy, but I see the sun, and it was so beautiful, shining on me. I'm like, it's such a great day. I get to watch college football today. I get to watch the Yankees win again and sweep the Baltimore, and I get to watch the New York Football Giants probably lose tomorrow, but. Just great. I'd rather watch these sports than not have them.
And for everyone who is watching on the YouTube, Luis is not a U of A fan. I did ask him when he first came. He's not. So everyone who saw that and were like, go Cats, or even go Devils.
Go Devils. Go Devils.
Go Devils. All right. Always go Devils. But he should be wearing a Scottsdale Community College Fighting Artichokes hat because your family is from Scottsdale.
Yeah.
The Fighting Artichokes, they are unbelievable. And actually, I actually know nothing about the Fighting Artichokes. Just the fact that they have one of the best names in sports. But yeah, I mean, we're going to get into a lot today. And I think everything we're getting into is high stress, high intensity.
Oh,
I'm
gonna get to you today, Bradley. I
mean,
know.
Kurt's
Bradley knows I love to rage
Kurt's
bait.
after we end up taking this break. Kurt's gonna be defending himself. He's gonna be backed into a corner defending himself.
Kurt, you better be ready.
Fighting. He's gonna be. I don't know.
You better hop on the mic, Kurt. You better hop on
expect
the
him to
mic.
come out with punches being thrown. He might jump through the screen door. Or the
He's gonna
glass
come
door right
busting
now.
right through the door.
He's gonna. Is he coming on? Oh no, he's not. He's just lifting it up. But yeah. So I mean, I think if you are, I've said this many times. If you're a sports fan, I think our guy Joe Henry behind the booth right now as well would agree. Today's a great day for sports, isn't it, Joe?
I guess.
I mean, yeah. All right. I mean, try to throw
Max,
Joe.
you're asking the guy who's about to produce the Fordham football game.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Go Fordham
Go
football.
Rams. Go Rams, dude.
Rams.
Always go
Rams
Rams.
are nothing. Rams are nothing.
Rams are nothing. They win this week, I think.
Who do we play today? Stony Brook.
They play Stony Brook, which
last year
you got to beat Stony Brook.
Last year wasn't too good for us. Didn't turn out well.
I mean, I've seen many teams come back from this before, you know? I mean, I think what it is we don't have Tim DeMorad anymore, which, by the way, for all you diehard – no, Joe's making fun of the voice I'm doing right now. For any of you diehard Fordham fans, Tim DeMorad had the best mustache of all time, and I do actually have a photo with me and him while I also had a mustache. So Tim DeMorad will always be my number one.
Wait, what's Kirk got to say?
Oh yeah. My mustache used to be unbelievable. Now Barrett carries it on for me.
Never
Yeah,
forget the
I'm trying to get a
mustache.
job still, so I need to I need to stay remotely clean shaven. But Barrett lives on. He lives the mustache life for me, just because I can no longer. So, yeah. I mean, do you guys have anything else before we're about to go in?
One thing
to
though,
this-
if you want to call in, number is 718-817-2750. We want to hear
Bradley
There's
the
Bradley doing
plug.
my
Yeah.
job
We
right
wanna
now.
hear
Bradley.
your,
Hey Bradley, I was about to rip that before the break, man.
What are you doing? You're taking his job.
Because I want to hear your garbage takes or good takes. Most of them
Yeah.
are probably garbage if they're
Yeah.
bad about the Mets.
But one question I had for you, Max. Have you been – I don't know what the name of the course is. There's one course I've been to in Scottsdale that it's so beautiful, and I go there all the time when I go to visit family. I don't know the name of it. I think it's literally called Scottsdale. Like
Is it Scottsdale TPC?
I think so.
It's where they play the Waste Management Open, Phoenix Open.
I think so. Yes, I believe so.
Oh, if no one's noticed so far, by the way, we might
Yeah.
have to have Kurt also come in here at some point. We are on a golf theme today. All have our polos on. I have my Ryder Cup hat, which was gifted to me from a dear friend who went the other day. And actually, what sucks is Kurt's not on the camera right now, and he has the best fit.
Yeah, Kurt.
you got a nice hat.
I mean,
Kurt
you
was
can,
like,
you can run in real quick if you want to, Kurt. Come on. Come, Kurt.
Kurt's coming in. He's coming in. We're
He's
going to
gonna
get him
run in.
on this.
Kurt.
I told him he needed to throw a fit today. Which camera?
Go to Bradley.
Take this camera.
There's so many angles.
Look at this. He has – turn around real quick as well.
Yeah, show
He
the
has
fit. Show the fit.
Nice Nike. I mean, this is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
How much the shoes? Show the shoes. Show the shoes.
Zipper shoes, goes hard, and obviously
Okay. What do you think? A
I
5 or a
was
7
hoping
on
he was
this?
going to wear this hat, and he did. He came through.
I think
He
the hat's the
came
best
through.
part of the fit. I think the hat and the vest are like go together.
I like the
perfectly.
vest. I like the vest.
I feel like vests are going out of style. We got to bring them back.
Yeah. Honestly, Kurt, I love the fit checks on IG. Like
No,
you
I
can,
think
he does the
they're
little
the best.
fucking-
They're the best. Also, before we head to this break, I do want to let everyone know I shot an 86 at Van Cortlandt, the oldest public course in the country. So
humble.
I am so humble about it. I won't say it more than 4 more times. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. We're going to head to a break right now. But when we get back, we're going to be talking some Yankees. We're talking some Mets. And we're going to see how they do when they're reaching the postseason.
What's up, everyone? I'm Chris Carino,
I'm Brendan Shorey.
And I'm Tucker Austin.
your Fordham football broadcasters for the 2025 season.
Join us every Saturday on 90.7 FM and on WFUV Sports YouTube page for live radio broadcasts of every Fordham football game as the Rams continue their quest to their first Patriot League title since 2014.
With a new look offense and veteran leaders on defense, you won't want to miss this. Fordham football, every weekend on WFUV Sports.
Welcome back to WFUV's One-on-One. Again, if you want to call, like Bradley told you guys earlier when taking my job, the number is 718-817-2750. But let's get into some baseball talk here, all right? So half of New York, as I said in the intro, is feeling great right now. The Yankees feel unbelievable. I think they are in a great position to not only, they have clinch the postseason, but not only clinch the postseason and be in a good spot, but also to win the AL East. And not only to win the AL East, but have the number one seed going into the postseason, which everyone knows in this new format is probably one of the most important aspects. However, before we talk about the Yankees, because I don't want to start on a high note. Kurt's gonna be ready for this section.
Get ready, Kurt.
Let's talk about some Mets. Okay, so the Mets are fighting for that last wild card spot right now. Currently, they are sitting in the third spot, tied with the Reds, and they're actually I believe do they have the tiebreaker versus the Reds? I don't believe
the
so.
Reds have it.
So the Reds have it. So
Yeah.
Reds right now are playing
The Reds control
my
the destiny.
personal amazing Milwaukee Brewers.
No glaze.
Yeah,
No glaze.
this is non-biased radio show. But they're playing the Brewers, and the Mets are currently playing the Marlins, which I've said since the beginning of the season is probably one of the scariest teams to play when you only have to play them in a series, right? They're not built. The Marlins haven't been built for the whole year, but they're not a bad team at all. I think their record doesn't reflect them, and I think if I was a Mets fan, I'm a little stressed out. You seem antsy.
I'm very antsy to say because I've been saying this. I said this on Nosebleeds yesterday. I said this on Nosebleed 2 weeks ago. The Mets should be scared to play the Marlins because they have their number, and they just proved it last night, winning 6-2 against a Mets team that needs to win. And I'm looking at Kurt when I say this. You guys need to step it up because I don't know what is going on.
They just need
You
to
don't
make the
even control your
postseason.
destiny
They
anymore.
proved that last year. That's like it doesn't. They could be.
Especially when these teams that they have nothing to prove
You
anymore.
don't
They're
want
just
the Mets
losing.
to make it.
I
You
don't
don't
want the
want
Mets
I
to make it.
really
Obviously, I
don't.
don't want to make
Yeah.
The grass is green, buddy.
The grass is real green when the Mets make it, man. The
They're
grass
not
is gonna
gonna
be real
make
green
it.
for
They're not
everyone
gonna
else.
make
Just
it,
letting
Kurt.
you know.
Kurt, they're not going to make it. But when you play a Marlins team that has nothing to lose, but they just want to spite the Mets and just say, one last, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean? One last, but that's the point, that they have nothing to lose and they just want to prove it to them.
I'm not sure if I'm a little bit worried, but I feel like the Marlins are one of those teams where just like they can like end your season by just randomly playing good for absolutely no reason. Kurt, I don't know are you just as nervous as I am that the Mets I know the Mets can do serious damage in October.
So
the big question is, are they going to get there?
I remember seeing on Twitter, it was like a scenarios for the Mets to miss the playoffs, and it was like the Mets lose 6 games and the Marlins win out, and someone was like, "That's impossible. That can't happen." And someone said on Twitter, "You haven't been a Mets fan long enough if you don't think the Marlins can go on a random 10-game win streak and the Mets can lose 8 games in a row." And that's exactly how it feels.
You haven't been just honestly any sports fan. Like that is probably one of the most nerve-wracking things is when it's like, oh, we have this layup series at the end here. Like we're gonna be fine. We're making the postseason. Then you lose that first game, and all of a sudden it is one of the most stressful two games that you will ever experience.
You know what's more stressful? The Mets are going to lose tomorrow. The Reds are going to lose today. Today. They're both going to lose. And then it's going to come down to the last day of the season where either one of them winning, and then the tiebreaker happens, and then the Reds make the playoffs.
I wish they went back to the old-fashioned tiebreaker where they had to play one game.
That would be sick if they had to play one game against
Right?
each
Like
other.
I think that used
days.
to be probably one of the best things the MLB did. Either whether it was for the division title. I know the Brewers played in one a while back against the Cardinals. I think that's probably one of the coolest things in sports is to be like, you're both, or especially when it comes, not even division. Division's one thing because you're both going to make the postseason through that. But if you are having to fight one game to see if you're making the postseason, see if you're going to make the dance, I think that is probably going to be some of the best baseball you watch in the whole postseason. Because the worst part is you also then get punished for then probably playing either a day or 2 days after in that first wild card series. I think that's what they should do. I mean, you already opened up the postseason to more teams a couple years ago, so why not just make it the same rule where you have to fight out?
I'm not opposed to that at all.
I'm not opposed to it. I think it's like it adds more competitiveness to
Like
it.
it's baseball. You can't
Like-
tie in baseball.
Like, come on, like you love baseball is kind of like an art, and how can you not love baseball? And you're taking away this moment where you can like have one final showdown, kind of like a cinematic moment where like, yes, I'm gonna beat you in a 1-on-1 to prove who is better.
I mean, I think like that's I mean, football all of a sudden you can tie in. Soccer you've always been able to tie in. Hockey you get a point for it. And I mean, hockey you get a point for losing in overtime, which I love hockey, but that's kind of crazy in its own right. And then baseball is a sport where you're not allowed to tie, right? It's America's pastime. You don't tie in the United States.
Always
Actually,
on
right
top.
now I'm hoping for a tie from the Ryder Cup, but you don't tie in the United States, right? And I think that baseball just going straight down to the tiebreaker, where it's like, oh, we won more games, especially now when you have to play every team in the MLB, right? It's not like you're playing this team like 12 times, right? You're playing them 2 series, I think they played them. So,
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's kind of like, I just find it a little ridiculous just because teams can go in slumps, right? One example of this would be every team that played the Dodgers after the All-Star break, right? The Dodgers went in an absolute slump. They were injured. They weren't healthy. They weren't playing great baseball in the first place. And teams just like took so many wins off them. If the Dodgers and, say, the Phillies were going head-and-head and they were going to be tied at the end of the season to see who got first seed, like, and the Phillies played them in that little stretch, but guess what? The Dodgers, like, beat every other team. Like, they won more games, or not won more games because they beat a tie, but, like, you get what I'm saying, though? It's like you can't – I just find it very odd to do that, especially for last place teams, or not last place, but last position teams in the postseason to be like, no, like, they played twice this year, and the Reds were better than them 4-3, right? Like, they won 4 games. Mets only beat them 3 times. That is going to be, like, that's the decider if they make the postseason or not. So
I'm a big advocate for Game 163. I'm not.
I thought it was fantastic.
I like it. Imagine like the Mets Reds like Game 163.
That would be great.
Thing is where you get in trouble is then if you have 3 teams that are all tied for that
Yeah.
position.
That's
Then do
true.
you go tiebreaker to see who the last teams are?
Maybe do like
That's a rare. I feel like that wouldn't happen though.
Maybe
I mean,
like
it could,
a-
on paper it
I
could
mean, it's pretty
happen.
close. It almost happened here.
Yeah. But one question I had for Bradley is, what, as a Mets fan, like what do you guys need to do to like step it up? You know, this is like the moment you have to step up to. You can't have a tie with the Reds. You need to win this.
I think the Mets win today. Obviously, with last time Yuri Perez pitched against the Mets, they put up 19 runs with Jonah Tung's debut, which Jonah Tung has really struggled a little bit. But tonight it's Clay Holmes, so like at first I was like, okay, like
Yankees legend.
like the Mets are going to be fine. This is before I knew who the starter was. But then when I checked this morning, before I got down here, I saw Clay Holmes' probable pitcher, and I'm like, all right, well, either we're going to put up 20 runs or the season's ending tonight. There's really like no in between.
I'm gonna be honest with
I'm
you.
not a big fan of Clay Holmes, in case it wasn't obvious.
I said this to Kurt. I said this to Pat, a friend of Pat. A friend of Kurt's, of us, that there's a reason why Clay Holmes was booed out of the Bronx. Nobody likes him. He doesn't step up to the moment. He might have those good stats in a regular season game or a nothing game. He stat pads a lot, and that's why he has a 3.6 ERA. But when it comes down to those moments where you need to step up, he's not the guy that you want. And I feel like he's going to prove that tonight, or this afternoon, and just blow it for the Mets.
Sorry about that. Another thing to think about also, though, is who the Marlins are facing, right? They're facing Uri Perez, who isn't as good as Edward Cabrera, right? I'm not going to say he's the Marlins ace, but he's definitely up there with young pitchers who are very capable of having one game a year at least that they can shut down a team, right? So I think the Mets aren't going into this obviously they're not going into this very calmly. I think it's a very tense situation, but as we were talking before the show, the Mets, I think, prefer to be in these situations in the sense of they've gotten to a point where they're comfortable being uncomfortable.
I just think the Mets.
I think they're able. I think they're able to take moments like this and slow the game down, and lock in. All they need to do is win 2, right? In that wild card series last year, all they had to do was win 2, and they got it done. They need to win 2 to give themselves a chance.
Could the Mets not be comfortable with that? Can we just win out and win the division and
No, they
then
just wanna
be
put their
okay with
friends through
that?
Because it's just
do we have to do we have to live?
No,
in
they love
stress?
the
They love
story.
putting
They love the story.
We have to live
They
in
love putting
stress.
their fans
I'm just
through
saying, we have to do this every year.
I think they prefer to do it because it looks better off when they
Yeah,
when
the
they
guy-
do
when you gotta
they
say-
pull it off.
when you got to say gotta believe,
No,
do we have to do this?
Steve Cohen before the beginning of the season.
When Grimace needs to get a seat so they
Yeah.
can start winning games.
Last year, Steve Cohen during I think it was the first round of the playoffs, he stood outside of Citi Field and shook every fan's hand.
I mean,
The
it
GOAT.
worked.
It did. You had to believe, and Steve Cohen did it.
No,
There's a reason why he stood there and shook every fan's hand.
I think Steve
Should have asked
Cohen
him to pay my student loans while I was there, but
Yeah, while you're in a generous mood, can you help me out here?
I actually have $30K in student loans. Can you please pay it, Steve? But I feel like Steve takes the whole clubhouse before the beginning of the season and says, guys, I know you're a good team, but can you kind of make it stressful? I want to sell more
No,
seats,
but,
please.
I want to interject. Here's the thing, though. The difference between last year's team and this year's team is that last year's team would fight till the very, very end. They could be down 25 runs and they can cut it to a 20 or cut it to a 5-run deficit. It's just this team. I'm sure
I don't really have the grit they used to have.
They
from
don't
last
have
season.
the grit. They don't have
the chip on
fight.
the shoulder.
They just, I guess, after getting Juan Soto, they just kind of.
They don't have OMG anymore, is what it is.
They don't have OMG. They don't have Grimace anymore, really.
What's
and
his-
it's just.
I do want to look quickly just at their September, right? And a lot of people talk about the dog days of summer, which is always a big thing, but September is probably one of the hardest months
It is.
to play because you have guys who are getting injured, right? And you don't want to rush them because you don't want them to be hurt for the postseason, but you also need them, right? And so let's run through their series so far in September. Started with a 2 wins against the Tigers, great series. Then, as we were talking earlier, they lost a series to the Reds.
They almost got swept.
Then got swept by the Phillies. Then almost got swept by the Rangers. Then won a series against the Padres. That was huge. Then obviously beat the Nationals. And
lost to the
then
Nationals,
lost a
actually.
series to the Cubs. And now they're playing the Marlins. I mean, I don't want to say they were stumbling, but they were in the main position for the wild card at one point in time. They were in that main. They were up there. And they've just been slowly. I hate the word crawling because everyone's crawling at this time.
No, the Mets are quite literally crawling on all fours to get into October. As a bias aside, if the Mets somehow, by some miracle, make it to October, they're literally crawling on all 4 legs. barely surviving to get
Yeah.
there.
But I do
'Cause
actually
This team should not be 82 and 78. It's just
before
it should be a
before
borderline
we
95 win
before
team.
we depress everyone, all the Mets fans who are nervous, they woke up this morning in a cold sweat, and they were like, "This might be the day. This might be the day that we don't beat the Marlins." Let's switch over to more happy news in the Bronx. Right?
Ooh,
I know Luis is happy to talk about this.
I'm really happy.
When I said every team's crawling, I lied. The Yankees aren't crawling. The Yankees
We're starting.
are
We're running.
the hare right now. They are not the tortoise. They're the hare, and they're not even lazy. They're running through that finish line. They're beating them by a million seconds. And I mean, look at this. So played the Orioles their last night, won 8-4. They had a series 2 nights ago, or two series ago against the Orioles, where they won 3 out of 4 against the Orioles. They won their series against the Red Sox. They lost series against the Tigers. It happens. They won their series against the Astros, won their series against the Blue Jays, swept the White Sox, of course. I mean, they are in a position right now to where, I mean, we talked about this actually on NFL Friday for a second, which was me, Owen, and Brandon talk about this. But you look at you look at the Yankees, and every time you see anything about them, right, like in the news, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, New York Times, New York Post, anything, it looks like they're like in last place in the MLB, right? And that was what we were getting at the start of September, was such a disappointing team. You know, this has been a disappointing year. And I think what the Yankees did is not try to fight back from that. I think what they did was completely cut that out of what they were hearing, what they were reading, what they were listening to, right? So I think what they've done is be able to be like, clear the noise. But guess what? We are the New York Yankees. Guess what? I am Aaron Judge. Guess what? I'm Volpe, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I'm Volpe, but they've cleared it, and I think they're in such a good position. They're in the position that everyone wanted them to be in at the beginning of the year. No one thought they would be halfway through the year. I mean, I got to go to you first. How are you feeling right now? It's in their hands. They have the tiebreaker. All they need to do is win out here.
One thing I want to correct you. We do not have the tiebreaker against the Blue Jays.
thought
We
you
did
guys-
get clapped
The
by
Yankees
them.
don't have a tiebreaker against any AL East team.
We do
actually.
not.
I thought they did. That's so.
We have
on
it
me.
against the. Do we have it against the Red Sox? I'm not sure about that. It's
No.
not important. But this is the Yankees team that I dreamed of. The Yankees team with the magic of the '90s, of the golden era of
You
baseball.
dreamed of a Yankees team that might not win the AL East.
Sorry, this is not
I'm
a
sorry.
Yankee team close to anything of a
Yeah,
dream.
what?
Paul
This-
Goldschmidt
this is the
your
best
starting
I got
third
it.
baseman, bro.
You gotta give it to me.
What do
I
you
don't know
Kurt.
what we're
say so much
talking
about
about
Kurt,
here.
After last year, I've been like in this depression of just I can't believe this is happening to us. We are the best team in the AL on paper, but we've yet to prove it. And I think we're proving it right now. We're winning. The Yankees are not known to be a late season team. We usually collapse at this time, but we're beating that past I guess that stereotype that the Yankees are a bad team in September or late August. And especially with that cinematic moment with Caballero with his walk-off blooper, this shallow center field to walk it off, it's kind of giving me like, okay, maybe there's something going on. You know, I didn't have faith that the midway part of the season where we were struggling. You know, we had made some trades. They didn't look like they were paying off too well. But everything seems to be going to motion and getting into place, especially with the Blue Jays, who have been struggling recently. But what we need to do is obviously sweep the Baltimore. But we also need the Blue Jays to just they're playing
They play the
Rays.
Rays.
the Rays.
Yeah.
The Rays are a competitive team, so I'm hoping for our sake.
They're like
that
the
they win.
Marlins of the.
They are the Marlins of the
AL.
AL East. They are the
Yeah.
Marlins of the AL East.
They also live in the same state.
Yeah, I know. It's just like
Tampa.
ironic that it's like the two teams that like are basically like the exact same like similar team. Just like
Yeah.
they'll never be in the playoffs, but it's just like they have nothing to lose and like everything to gain from ending a team season or
Yeah.
dropping them lower. But here's the thing though, I'm sure you've seen this. Aaron Judge's playoff stats. I'm sure that's one thing that definitely haunts you still. If we get the same version of Aaron Judge that is batting 205 in the playoffs in 58 games and 86 strikeouts and 220 at bats, then that's not really.
One thing I
don't
feel
think that's
like
a recipe for win the World Series.
Judge was very not disturbed, but he kind of got to him this past postseason, where to be honest, he was part of the reason why we lost that Game 5 in the World Series. Obviously, the drop, but he has something to prove now. Like, before he's like, oh, Judge is a playoff superior. Like, a lot of players have that, in many sports have that reputation. But now he kind of like, you see on these his interviews when they ask about that, like, it got to him, and I feel like he's going to go into this postseason trying to prove them wrong. And I feel like it's going to be different.
Because obviously, I feel like last season, the pressure was like equally both on Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, just because, you trade for one of the best players of baseball in Juan Soto. They kind of both have that pressure. Now I feel like Aaron Judge absorbed all of that pressure, and it's now on him to perform. And I'm just not confident.
I feel like he's going to live up to it.
I mean, the Yankees fans have been, like the Cowboys.
Last
they've
year.
been saying that
I
every
will
year,
I will say though, like the Yankees last postseason, I think if you threw that Yankees team in this postseason, I don't think they make the World Series.
They don't.
If you throw that Yankees team in 2 postseasons ago, I don't think that team makes it to the World Series any year but last year.
Yeah, that was a very like.
And I don't
special
think it's very
scenario.
representative of like who Aaron Judge is as a person. I mean, he's a great guy, but as he is as a player, because I think he genuinely took that very hard. I mean, he's never been an outspoken person, and I don't think
He's a very quiet guy.
he's a very quiet guy, and I think that's the most difficult is when you're quiet and you're getting all this hate, especially from the fans that love you, the fans that were so happy to see you become the captain, right? And I really am not expecting him to have a bad postseason this year. I think he's going to turn it around. I think you're going to see some players like, I don't know why I feel this, but I think Volpe has a weirdly good postseason.
He did that grand slam in the World Series.
I think he steps up. I think he's someone who needs to step up when it comes to, rallying the Yankee fans around him. I think that would be a big thing. Also, though, I think a big thing about last year's postseason was the Yankees were doing fine. They did great, right? They made the World Series. But everyone was focused on the Mets, right? Because the Mets were having an unbelievable run.
Yeah.
And so it's very difficult to rally a city around you when your counterpart is, like, defying the odds and hitting crazy game-winner home runs, beating the Phillies, which I know
that was great.
even Yankee fans don't like Philly fans. So, like, doing all that, it's very hard to rally. I felt like the energy wasn't 100% there. I think there were games where the energy was unbelievable. But then there was other games where it was like almost not there. So I think this year's a little bit different, especially if the Mets don't end up making the playoffs.
That is the thing with the Yankees, that they kind of like lack this kind of energy. I was talking to Kurt about this, that it feels very corporate and compared to the Mets. And I don't like that, because you look back, I keep on talking about the golden era of the Yankees. I'm living in the past, man. But it's true. Like, it's not the way it used to be. And I was also talking to Bobby about this a while ago. It was like almost a year ago, but I remember it, that the Yankees don't have that kind of the atmosphere anymore they used to. And it's just it's very bland, very corporate. And I had the good luck of being able to go to Game 3 of the World Series last year, and I wouldn't consider myself a loud person, but when I'm the loudest guy in the bleachers, I was sitting in the bleachers, by the way, I was the loudest guy in the bleachers. That says something about the team, and that's what I love about the Mets, that they have that New York grit to them.
Yep.
They have the loudness, like, I mean, the atmosphere, like all that.
They could be 0-162 and still like, next year's our year. Like, we can make the World Series or whatever. So I kind of share that. I kind of agree with you on that. And I feel like, let's just say hypothetically the Yankees make the World Series, right, but they lose. I feel like even if Aaron Judge plays decently well, I feel like the media these days, they always kind of pin it on the best player on the team, whether they play well or not. So I feel like even if Aaron Judge plays well, I feel like we're kind of in that era now where it's like we're kind of shifting more towards blaming the best player for not playing better. And I'm not saying that Aaron Judge is going to play good or bad. I'm just saying that no matter what happens, whether the Yankees make the World Series, win the World Series, lose the World Series, the blame is going to be on Aaron Judge because you're not going to look at Cody Bellinger and say, "Oh, it's all Cody Bellinger's fault. He should have played better." Or you're not going to look at Paul.
You take that
Goldschmidt.
responsibility when you're captain, though.
Yeah,
the captain always takes the blame.
But I guess it's just kind of sad because let's just say Aaron Judge does have the best postseason of his career, and the Yankees still don't go, to the World Series. You kind of look at it and it's just like the media would probably say Aaron Judge should have played better, but he played really, really well. And I guess when the Yankees are looking at going to the offseason, obviously I think Cody Bellinger could opt out, right?
I think
There's a
he
playoff
does want to, but he's been like.
His dad played for the Yankees. I
stay.
think he wants to stay with the Yankees.
Yeah,
So I guess when
He's also been enjoying it since they didn't make him shave his beard, so he likes.
Yeah, he has
likes
a little
keeping that.
stubble going on.
But yeah, I just feel like all the pressure's on Aaron Judge. No matter if he plays good or bad, all of the pressure is on him. So
Yeah.
I guess the big question is, will he, pun intended, will he step up to the plate?
One thing. that
See
was
how he
really
looked at me and
corny.
hit that too?
That was really
He
corny.
hit that.
Bradley.
He hit that, and then was like, "Yeah, you like that?" I was like, "That's good. That's good."
Yeah, one thing, Bradley, that what's different about this Yankees team from last year is that offensively, we only relied on Judge, Giancarlo, and Soto, and Judge did not show up at all. Offensively, I know Kurt's getting mad at me. I can see him. Kurt, you stay back there. I don't want to hear anything from you.
Feel free to hop in.
But now they got Cody, Paul Goldschmidt. Even though he's he's been doing really good this season for us. Trent Grisham. Forget the Soto trade. It was the Trent Grisham trade. These guys are really proven. Josh Chisholm as well. He had a 30-30 season. These guys are stepping up offensively, and they're kind of taking that load offensively from Judge, where he doesn't need to be the guy that always steps up in the moment, and he can kind of if he underperforms, he doesn't need to take the blame or I guess the responsibility as much as he had to in the past.
Yeah, and I think Stanton also stepping up, even though he hasn't played many games this year. When he is playing, he's been absolutely insane.
Great game last
And
night.
we were talking about this before. We feel like the Yankees are getting hot at the right time, right? This always happens. Like the Mets last year got hot at the right time right before the postseason, and they rode that wave through the postseason. The Yankees are doing a very similar thing, and right now, if everything stood the way it's going, or the way it might stand, if you look at today's season ends, the Yankees are playing the Red Sox in the first wild card series, which I
don't
feel
know.
like the Yankees do have
It's a coin toss.
the Red
series.
Sox number. I think it's going to be a great series, and I think the only team there's two teams the Yankees need to worry about in the postseason, and the first would be the Mariners. I would say that
The
team
Mariners
is.
are my favorite.
Yeah.
I would
out of
say
the
the
AL.
Mariners are great,
Oh.
and we'll get into this, but a Mariners-Brewers World Series where one team's going to win their first. That's awesome.
That would be out.
I guess
Even
Just
one
like
could
the
dream,
Rangers
right?
D-backs a couple or 2 years ago, where it was like one team's gonna have to win their first World Series. I think that'd be really cool. But then I think the Guardians are another team that the Yankees have to worry about, because the Guardians, I think, in the last 5-6 years have probably been the hardest team for the Yankees to play in the world in the postseason.
the Guardians. I feel like we own them.
I feel like they give you the hardest
No,
series.
Juan
though.
Soto owns them.
Juan Soto owns them. Every time we
Not
play them,
the
we give them a
Yankees.
backhand and shoot them off into the corner.
I don't know if it's that. I don't
Yeah,
think it's a.
that
I think
Juan
it's a
Soto home run
backhand
is the
after they
reason
give
why
you
y'all
two
won
black
that
eyes,
series.
and then you backhand them.
Backhand them
yeah.
back.
Yeah, and then you
They
act
put
like
up
you
some
always-
good fights,
They
especially
do.
in the
I think
Lindor
they're a
era.
very scary team because they also are a team who's gotten very hot at the end of the season. So,
I
yeah,
would be
I mean-
confident against them. The
I mean,
one
we
team I am scared about, both you guys mentioned, the Mariners. I talked about this on Nosebleeds yesterday too. That the Mariners are the only team that I'm genuinely scared of to face off, because Red Sox, they're injured. They don't have Roman Anthony, and we just came off beating
which
them.
was
in
an absolute.
that was
We'll get in. We'll probably talk about that a little bit after
Yeah.
the break. But
And then Detroit's not looking too good. Guardians, we have their number as well. But the
Soto
Mariners are
has their
scary.
number.
Soto has their. Can you? Did I mention Juan Soto, Max? I don't think I mentioned
I
Juan
don't
Soto.
think I heard
I'm
Juan
just saying,
Soto.
just saying that home run's the reason why y'all
Yeah,
made the
Juan
World
That's that.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know,
I don't think he was the one who tied it, Bradley. I don't remember.
Series. I mean, he was the only one.
I
that
think
showed
Aaron
up.
Judge tied it, if
We're-
I remember correctly.
I think we're gonna keep this going. I think we're gonna head to a quick break, but when we get back, we're gonna talk all MLB as well as a little AL MVP talk. So when we get back, We'll be talking about that, and we're excited to see you guys on the end of the break.
What's up, everybody? It's Tucker Austin, one of WFUV Sports' New York Yankees beat reporters in 2025. Aaron Judge and company are hungry to return to the Fall Classic to avenge their defeat last season. Follow me on X at @Taustin_24 for live game updates, video recaps, and more as the Bronx Bombers chase their 28th World Series championship. WFUV Sports is your home for everything New York Yankees.
Welcome back to WFUV's One-on-One. Again, if you want to call in, the number is 718-817-2750. We just got back from a little heated argument about the Yankees and the Mets, but now we're going to have an even more heated argument about the AL MVP race. So there's two candidates right now, and we have a clear division in the studio between Judge and Rally. I'm on Luis's side. I think it's Judge, but I want to hear Bradley to start and why you think Cal should get this and what he's really done for his team.
So first off, he's playing the hardest position in baseball. He played catcher for. If you want to say center field, that's totally fine.
Catchers are just supposed to hit these days, but yeah, I guess.
No, but like you're squatting down for 120 games, and if you want to say center field's hardest position, then that's fine. I'll disagree, but it's respectful. And he's the first catcher in MLB history to have 49 home runs, 50 home runs, 51, all the way through 60, and he could get 62, which I sadly don't think that'll happen. But I've been constantly switching back and forth. I've actually talked with Bobby about this, I think, a while back. I was originally Cal Raleigh. Then when Judge hit 50, I'm like, okay, it's probably Judge. But then Cal hit 60 that same day, and I'm like, okay, it's probably Cal Raleigh because he obviously first catcher in MLB history to have 60 home runs and 50 home runs. And I feel like a little bit with Kurt, I kind of agree with Kurt a little bit. Batting average shouldn't be the end-all, be-all with the MVP race. That's just one singular statistic out of the other really out of the whole category of event stats. And I'll let you jump in.
Kyle Raleigh only leads Judge in two stats: RBIs and home runs. Everything else, Judge dominates. He was hitting 400 for a good portion of the season, above 400. He not only had, if the argument,
Cal Raleigh's also, I just found this stat from courtesy of the MLB app. Fangraphs, which does include framing, currently has Raleigh the 14th most valuable defensive player.
I'm saying one thing.
Any
If
position.
Cal Raleigh
14th?
wasn't a catcher, he would not be in the
Every
MVP
MVP
conversation.
player.
As simple as that. He would not be in the MVP conversation if he wasn't a catcher.
What?
The people just love this narrative.
Okay, hold on.
Not only because they're sick of Judge winning.
Okay, what about Kyle Schwarber? He's in the NL MVP race. He's batting 240, I believe 243 as of a few days ago. He has 56 home
He's
runs.
not going to win MVP, though.
I know, but he's in the conversation.
Not like this. Not like this. 'Cause
Obviously not like this, but you just said that Raleigh wouldn't be the. So if Cal Raleigh was a DH, you're saying he wouldn't be in the conversation.
No, he wouldn't even. It wouldn't be. He would be in the conversation, but it wouldn't be this close because you can't compare Kyle Schwarber to Shohei Ohtani. It's not the same race. It's a very different race right now.
Well,
Damn.
if you obviously because Ohtani's doing pitching, but if you were to take away the pitching, I think it's an equally close argument. But obviously because Ohtani is the first player in MLB history to
Yeah,
have
but
50 strikeouts.
We're doing a lot
and-
of what if scenarios.
No, but like I totally disagree with that. I think you could put Cal Raleigh. I don't obviously Cal Raleigh can't play the out, like second base or whatever. But it's kind of like he's playing the hardest position. You can't just say what if Cal Raleigh wasn't playing catcher.
But I'm just saying that like if
that's the biggest hypothetical. I guess.
it is. You're right about that. But the one thing is that he's getting all this hype just because he is a catcher.
It's the hardest position in baseball.
And which is, I'm not denying
and
that.
Judge
I'm not
has
denying
played
that.
a lot of games in DH, and he's missed time too.
He's
And
missed time
it
too,
actually
and
counted
he's still
against him.
doing way better statistically.
It's not only about the entirety of being a catcher and everything else. It's also the fact that he's doing this, and this is a breakout year. It's a bigger deal than just being a catcher. There's a position that
People
doesn't really
love
like,
this narrative. That's the thing. The narrative, I feel like it's more or less the stats that are driving his MVP conversation. It's more the narrative that it's this Mariners team that's been struggling.
Also, Bradley, I do need to say you said he's catcher and his framing's great. Framing's one thing. I mean, he sits on a knee. They don't really squat anymore, but he's only thrown out 21 guys this year. He's had 78 stolen bases on him this year. I mean that,
Is he even the
and,
best
and
catcher
the
in the
thing is though, is if you were stealing on, if someone's getting
catcher in the
stolen
league.
that many
Obviously,
times,
closest
as
best
well.
catcher in the league.
defensively.
Oh well, okay. Well, I'm talking about overall.
Overall,
No,
it
no,
obviously is,
Overall,
but
yeah, you
but-
can't just say like.
I'm saying defensively. I'm just asking defensively.
but I think
Defensively-
the MVP stopped being a defensive award
a long time
many
ago.
we should
years
just
ago.
ignore a very important statistical category.
Well, no, I'm
in
not saying. I'm just saying how it is.
I mean, if I
I
would say
know,
the
I
only way
understand
you
that,
bring
but
up
you
their fielding in any way is if they're bad at it, right? If they're bad at it, you bring it up. But the MVP is purely if they are the best pitcher by a milestone, and no one else is hitting that well that year, or if they're the best hitter. And I think that's what the argument needs to be, is about hitting. It needs to be about their hitting statistics, about their hitting. I would say even clutchness. I would say, well, that's very hard to get
Measure,
it's hard to measure, but it's
I
more
found
of just
the-
on the.
I found this that Cal Raleigh is 6th out of all catchers in framing, and he's in the 87th percentile for defense. So, I mean,
Who's ahead of him?
I'm about to
Obviously,
find out right
like,
now.
JT Realmuto. Who else? Contreras.
Actually, no, Cal Raleigh's 5th now. He went up. Patrick Bailey for the Giants is number 1. Alejandro Cook. Shout out Alejandro Cook. Really good. He's number 2. Austin Wells. At number 3. That doesn't mean Austin Wells is better than
MVP.
And then 4th is Austin Hedges of the Cleveland Guardians.
That's
so
why I brought it up.
Cal Raleigh is Cal Raleigh
It's
is 5th
over.
in,
Austin Wells is MVP. I've heard enough.
did Austin Wells at 60 home runs and has a 952 OPS.
See,
I don't think so.
I would agree with you with the home runs argument, but the thing is, Judge lost the MVP because of the same in 2017 because of the same logic. So if we're gonna be holding Kyle Raleigh to the same logic that they did in 2017 to Judge, he's not the MVP.
I very much disagree with you. Like,
And also, if it's about home runs, Judge is also hitting 50-plus home runs
No,
with
but-
better stats.
but Cal Raleigh's also said most home runs by a switch hitter, most home runs by catcher, most home runs in
See,
Mariners.
it's
He
that narrative.
surpassed-
You keep bringing up this narrative. I'm talking about
It's
when
not-
you break it down.
It's stats. It's a simple stat. He had more home runs than any. He surpassed Ken Griffey, who's arguably some people consider him the GOAT in some categories. He had more home runs this year than any season of.
Let me
Griffey
just
in
pose
Seattle.
this for both of you,
Like, think about
because
that.
I am an NL fan at heart, so I'm out of this conversation. But if you were to have to choose one player over the other, and I'm not just saying hitting, I mean like you want him on the team
Judge.
and you want him to play every game of a season, who are you realistically going to pick between the two?
Come on.
Are we choosing the regular season or the postseason?
No.
Because the MVP is a regular season
Regular
award.
season.
It's
Okay,
not
well-
a. It's
Taking
not
Judge.
It's not a.
You're taking Judge. Anyone who's smart and actually knows ball is taking Judge. Like, it's simple as that.
Well, obviously, you're gonna take.
Well, Bradley
Judge,
knows ball though.
but
Bradley-
Obviously,
Don't
you're taking.
don't
Judge,
dis-
but
Bradley
I just
knows
think that's
ball.
like. I don't know if that's necessarily the best argument to use for advocating for, like.
That's MVP. That's quite literally what
It's the
Max
most-
just asked. That's MVP.
like-
Who's the most valuable player? Who would you want to pick
Like
between the two?
like out of the two, like if you were like, all right, I have to beginning of the season, I'm building my team around this person. Who are you going to build your team around?
Well, obviously, you're probably gonna pick Aaron Judge, but
You
if
keep
you-
proving my point, Bradley.
just
It's this
like-
narrative against Judge because people want. They have one thing I've realized: everyone who is against Judge winning the MVP are either Yankees haters or Mets fans, and it's true. You cannot tell me otherwise. I got two Mets fans here telling me that Judge should win MVP for whatever reason. Always a catcher, always the best player like in recent Mariners history.
I mean, Kurt has been quiet during this whole thing as well.
But if Judge hit 60 home runs, then you'd be saying he's the MVP. And if
I'm saying he's MVP either way.
So hold on, if Cal Raleigh had Judge's stats, and Judge had Cal Raleigh's stats.
Cal Raleigh's winning the MVP. If you swap the stats, Cal Raleigh's winning MVP.
Okay, I just wanted to see if you were.
No, it's not biased. It's not biased. I'm saying like, when you bleed the guy in every other stat except two, you're gonna be the MVP.
Well, it's more than two. I just gave you a stat, but.
What do you mean? It's RBIs and home runs,
and also in defensive categories.
Oh my! You're back to the defensiveness.
They play two different positions. You can't really count
You can't
those.
compare the two. You can't compare
Like
the
you
two.
can't compare you can't compare a right fielder, center fielder to like a catcher.
You can't just ignore a very important statistic, which is.
But this is apples and oranges. You can't compare the two. You got to ignore defense in this when it comes down to the MVP.
Because it's a batting title.
It's a bet.
It really
it
is.
Which is why I think that the way voters vote now is just.
Yeah, people have been talking about that. They want to bring an offensive player of the year to like fix that problem.
100%. I'm all for that. The MVP should be not just.
I mean, they have like the Silver Slugger award.
Yeah, but that's like
that's more like
that's basically
position.
an All NBA team for offense.
Yeah.
But like, I agree with you guys. I think it should be an offensive player of the year, and then like the MVP considers everything. Because I feel like voters are just looking at the offense. They're not really looking
especially in an MLB where it feels like bats are all that matter, right? Like obviously catching has taken a different turn, but which was recently reported, actually, I think it's almost for sure bringing in automated umpires, at least challenge calls
ABS
for
system.
2 a game. So that kind of it takes a lot of these catchers. So thinking of just from being a Brewers fan, the Brewers are known for turning bad catchers into really good catchers, and that's because of their framing, right? Thing is, in years to come, the framing will go out of the picture, and it's just going to continue. It's almost like basketball, right? When you look at basketball, it's now such an offensive game, right? It's very difficult to play defense in basketball because almost everything you do is a foul. It's getting very close to that with the MLB in the sense of it's like this guy, he can't really field. This is Soto. Soto can't field. I'm sorry, Mets fans. Sorry, old Yankee
Bradley.
fans.
It doesn't matter when you're almost having a
Juan
40-40
Soto.
season.
No, but Juan Soto cannot field a baseball to save his life.
Would you pay
It's
him?
why they put him almost at the warning track every time he plays. When he used to play for the Nationals in left field, he would start on the warning track because they thought it was a better chance of him running in to catch the ball.
Yeah.
And that's why he did that. So but thing is though, it doesn't matter if he hits 40 home runs if he makes, because this thing is like players don't make many errors. They're in the MLB. They don't make many errors.
Anthony
But it's
Volpe.
about let me outfielders
Did you
don't
guys see that
make
clip
many
of Aaron
errors.
Judge on the Talking Yanks podcast? They're like part of like the John Boy Media.
Yeah.
He was like, Anthony Volpe has a sub 700 OPS, but he is the best shortstop in baseball. Next question. Did you guys?
He's
Kurt,
the best
Obviously,
guy
he's gonna
around.
obviously, he's gonna defend his guy. I can't.
He was like, if only
You're gonna say he sucks.
He's like, if only Anthony Volpe had a
Oh
700.
no, Kurt's getting on.
If
Oh
only
no.
Anthony Volpe had a 700 OPS, he could be the best shortstop in baseball.
Oh,
But he's batting
no.
212.
I know, Kurt.
It's really funny when Anthony Volpe goes up to bat and you could just take a nap because you know nothing's gonna happen.
You know what's crazy?
You know
Kurt, you
nothing's
say
gonna
that,
happen. You could just take a.
but he
Lewis,
scored the
Lewis,
tie.
Last night, every time he came up to bat, I put on my hood and I fell asleep in the outfield.
You were falling
But I
asleep the
didn't-
entire game
fell
because you're a
asleep in the
hater.
outfield.
You
I
were
put on
falling
my
asleep the
hood and
entire game because you're
I
a
did
hater.
that with
Did
Judge,
you
and he
guys
hit a home
see-
run.
See, the Mets fans, they
You see
just love
Volpe's
to hate
face
on the
after committing
Yankees.
that error
They're like the
yesterday?
little brother to us.
Did you see that error? Or did you see Volpe's face after he committed that error yesterday? He's just like so disappointed. Like, it's just like summarize Anthony Volpe season in like one facial expression, and it's him like looking up to the sky like ready to cry his eyes out.
I don't blame. It's been a rough season for him, mostly because of his shoulder issue. He got this a cortisone shot, I believe, and he's been doing better offensively, but it seems like he's still kind of not there completely.
I guess it's also the expectations that.
Yeah, I mean, as
people
long as
put
he
on
hits
him.
well, I mean, he'll
Yeah.
win a Gold Glove. That's what they did for Jeter.
joking. All right.
I'm joking.
That's a whole other bad.
I said that.
I know
was
Bradley
really
got his
kidding him
eyes
there.
lit up when you said that.
Volpe
I'm
and
joking.
Gold Glove in the same
I'm
sentence.
joking.
Is like,
No, but before we get too deep into another Yankee segment, I do want to ask if you see the picture right now, if everything were to end today and you're looking at this postseason, who do you guys see going into the World Series? Just as a whole, I don't need necessarily like a breakdown of each game. Just at the end of the day, who's going to be the NL champion, who's going to be the AL champion.
All right, so I'll start off by I'll make two separate. I'll go Mets World Series, and then I'll do the real one. So this will be the real one.
Just the real one. Just the
Okay.
real one.
As much as I want to say the Mets are going to win the World Series and still make the playoffs, I will not include the Mets.
They're not even the playoff picture. You gotta focus now.
So I have to. So I can't just say like the Mets.
Yeah, because the Mets technically aren't in it
So
right
if it, all right, let's see. Let me just go.
'Cause
So
if it were to end today, the Mets would not be in the postseason.
Yeah, you can like.
so Dodgers. beat-
Max got his up.
Let's
I'm just
see.
peeking
Yeah,
over
if
his
you
shoulder.
just search up,
Yeah, I have it. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see. Okay, Dodgers beat Reds. Dodgers also beat Phillies. Padres. I
He's
say
doing the math.
Padres the NL. I'm just going quickly here. Guardians beat Tigers. Mariners obviously. Mariners Padres. I think we're gonna see if it's between those two. I think the Padres' experiment of building super teams could have to wait one more year, and I think the Mariners win their first World Series. I think we
that's
get
great,
a new.
That's exactly.
I
what
am
was
the
gonna say.
biggest
That's
Mariners glazer at this station,
It's-
and
you know what?
I will die on the Mariners hill this year.
They just love to like.
I had the Mariners making the World Series last
All
year,
the-
and that fell on its
Being a
face.
Mariners Glazer is not a good thing.
I know it's not a good thing, but it's just like the vibes of the team. It's just
so
like,
something to be proud about.
it's
you
just
don't
like
write home
Bradley,
about that.
Bradley, let it
it's
go.
just the vibes of like the Mariners. It's just like how
They don't
can
have
you
no
hate on the
vibes.
Mariners?
They're like the most depressing.
It's just like no, the,
franchise
like,
in
like,
MLB
like
history.
the offensive vibes
Right.
this season.
Mine's pretty
behind
close.
The Brewers, behind the Brewers.
It's so, like the offensive vibe with the Mariners. Like how can you hate like the offensive vibe
I
for the
hate.
Mariners?
I stay hating, but no, you're right, Bradley. I got the Mariners, but instead of the Padres, I think I would have the Padres and the Phillies in the NLCS, but the Phillies come on top and they win the whole thing.
I don't think. I think the Phillies. I don't think
This
the Phillies
year,
beat the Dodgers.
I mean, like last year they had the collapse against the Mets.
it's like the
but
Dodgers have this voodoo
I
magic.
think-
They're like
I
the
think-
Pacers. They just
so
have this voodoo magic.
Mine,
it
I
wears off,
have
though.
Seattle Yankees, and then I have Seattle winning, and then I have the Phillies are probably one of the hardest teams to play, especially when they are the home team. So I think the Phillies make it to the NLCS, and this isn't even a biased thing. I think the Brewers make it to the NLCS because I think they are the second. They are the second hardest team. Bradley, your team might not break the playoffs. My team is about to get the best record in the entire MLB.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
But-
That might be true, Max. But there's one thing that stays consistent in baseball, and it's curses.
Yeah, they're past the first
Brewers
round.
reek of,
They're past the
NLDS
first round
exit.
though.
They are past the first round.
They're past the first round.
The Brewers just reek of an NLDS
Same thing with the
exit.
Mariners. That's why I'm not fully convinced they can win it all
If the
because they have a
Mariners-
curse.
If
Yeah.
the Mariners aren't
It's years to
hitting,
break curses.
the Mariners will get swept if they don't hit. If the Mariners can
I think
consistently
if
hit,
I think if
Obviously,
the
the
I
pitchers
think
are
if the
dominant.
Brewers play if it ends up being it actually will end up being so if I think Brewers make it out of the NLDS. I think the Phillies go to the World Series, and I think the Phillies win a World Series this year.
I
But
agree.
you
with
got
that-
Phillies winning as well.
with
I
that,
hate to
oh,
say, but yeah,
you think the Phillies?
I think the Phillies are gonna win
Yeah.
it all.
And you think who do you think?
I'm going with
You-
the Mariners.
the
If I can't
That's
go with
so-
the
you're
Mets, I'm gonna go with the Mariners.
Kurt, do you have the Mets, Kurt?
I have the Mets at heart.
Do you think the Mets are gonna win it
You
all
gotta
this
make
year?
the postseason
Yeah.
first. You gotta make the
That's what
first.
I like.
You gotta make the postseason first, Kurt.
You know what? I'll say the Mets are going to win it all. Why not? If
I-
they make
you know
it,
what?
you can't
Sure.
stop them. You can't stop them.
The Reds are
Exactly.
stopping them right now, Kurt. They're
Can't stop
stopping
them
them right now.
Can't stop them, Lewis.
They don't have a spot right now. You
I
gotta
second that, Kurt.
All right, well that's gonna do it for our MLB talk today. We're gonna go and take a quick break, and then we'll be back and talking about one of the best days in college football this season. So excited to see you guys at the end of the break.
You're listening to WFUV, New York.
Welcome back again to WFUV's One-on-One. I gave a little thing at the intro, but if you are a college football fan, or even if you're not a college football fan, you need to turn on your TV today after the Ryder Cup and watch all these incredible games today. Just looking back at last night, though, the Seminoles lost to Virginia in a disappointing loss. Virginia probably just, I don't know, I think the campus is probably in ruins right now after the way they were celebrating.
Yeah.
And then also, this is not as important because, TCU was 24th. That doesn't really matter. But the Sun Devils taking down TCU at home. Sun Devils, if they didn't drop that one game to Mississippi State, they're probably sitting 10 right now. But they lost it, so they're not. So let's first look at that game with Florida State, Virginia. Unbelievable game. I think Florida State, I feel bad. I do feel bad because everyone was on. I think a lot of people were on that Florida State train a little bit just because, 2 years ago they were should have made playoffs, didn't make playoffs. Last year went from complaining about not making the playoffs to then having probably one of the worst seasons they've had in 20 years. And so that, it's and then this year they're starting off hot and everyone's like, oh my goodness, like this is their year. They deserve it, all this stuff. And then they lose to Virginia. And besides the second quarter, there wasn't, double overtime, right? Which, by the way, college football, the best overtime system
They do.
in any football league. I think the NFL
Any
needs to
sport.
start doing theirs.
The NFL
Any,
needs to
any
adapt it.
sport, I
Any
would say.
sport.
Actually, I would say hockey's up there with the
Hockey,
with 3-on-3 is pretty fun, I think.
Yeah.
But overall, probably the best overtime way to do any of it, right? And so I think if the NFL started using this, you would see a lot of different things. You'd see probably the Bills in a Super Bowl much earlier than they probably will be. And so, what do you guys see? Do you think the Seminoles should really lose a lot of rankings for this, or do you think this just happens? It's football, sports. Maybe they're not going to be top 10, but I don't think they need to be punished significantly for
I think
this.
they should be punished.
They should be punished. Like they're
Losing to an
8th right now.
unranked team.
They're gonna fall below Texas A&M. They shouldn't even be above Texas A&M. They're gonna fall below Texas.
Yeah, this is for Barrett. The
This is
Texas
for you,
A&M
Barrett.
hate is the disrespect. It's getting on my nerves now because ASU's terrible. So now I'm just.
I put Texas A&M very highly on my rankings for FE, which by the way you should go check it out on College Gridiron every week. But enough with
Nice
that.
plug.
Nice plug. But
Should have done a little a promo. We should have done the college football promo.
yeah, I think
Kurt put it on next.
Florida State should fall below Texas, below Indiana, below Texas Tech, below. Wow, honestly, they should fall borderline like close to the 20s.
It's very difficult to do that though when Notre Dame. It took them 3 losses to get out of
Notre
it.
Dame still shouldn't be on
That's
the poll.
that's just Notre Dame glaze.
I didn't put Notre Dame on my FUV consensus poll. I'll probably drop FSU pretty significantly depending on how this weekend plays out.
One
but
thing, Bradley, I want to tell you, as the college football guru you are, I don't think FSU even deserve to be ranked that high, because it's again with these narratives in sports, they kind of it makes overrating someone very easy to do, just because they were struggling in the past, especially with that playoff squander they had, and I don't think they even deserved it to begin with because they proved it wrong. They got blown out in the bowl game right after, but that's not the point. I just think they're not that good, and they got ranked that high because they're exceeding expectations, and that was it.
So part of my mistake, I actually did put Florida State 8. I thought I dropped them down a little bit, but I guess so. I do, but if I'm looking at the ranking now, I'd probably drop them to like borderline like 20 at that point. I'm keeping Notre Dame off my poll, definitely. I'm thinking about honestly taking what's it called? Taking Michigan or Alabama, one of those two teams off my poll as well. I'm also a big Michigan Alabama hater, so
that's a mention Alabama. They do play Georgia today at 7:30 p.m. tonight, Eastern time, of course. Big game. Georgia is at home, and quite honestly, Georgia is the better team. So I think it doesn't matter though, right? SEC, you saw this with Tennessee and Georgia. The atmosphere can really change a lot, Sometimes it motivates the team. Sometimes it takes them away from the moment, and it hurts them at the end of the day. So I think that's what I'm gonna just name some games that we should be looking at. And if you are trying to wash down the atrocious showing from the USA team right now in the Ryder Cup, I think these are the 3 games you need to watch. It needs to be Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State. If you're watching Alabama, Georgia over Oregon, Penn State, don't know what you're doing. Oregon, Penn State is the game to watch today.
It is.
Then 3:30 today, and you get a little warm up before that Oregon Penn State game. You have LSU Ole Miss at Ole Miss, which I mean that stadium gets electric. And then you also have Auburn, Texas A&M. And I'm guessing, were you on? Was Barrett on college football this week?
I
don't think he was. I don't
I
think
was
he was.
on
But
it. I think 2 weeks ago.
if he were, if he was on it, he would have been telling you that this is like a huge game. He seemed a little nervous when I was talking to him about it. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he seemed slightly nervous about the Texas A&M Auburn game. So I mean, if you want to watch that just to see what hear what I'm going to be hearing. By the way, Texas A&M Notre Dame. I'm sitting on the couch in our basement, and Barrett's room is also in the basement, and his TV was about like 5-10 seconds ahead of mine, and so I would hear like screaming, and I couldn't ever tell if it was good screaming or bad screaming, and a lot of like he would be banging the walls, all this stuff. And I'm watching the TV, and I'm like, I know something's about to happen. I just don't know what's about to happen. And so every time, he doesn't like, if it's a big A&M game, he won't watch it with anyone. He'll sit in his room and watch it. And he refuses to watch it with anyone.
And then Max walked in, and the TV was off.
I mean, they won. It was a crazy game, but I was like sitting there. I was like, do I tell him I want Notre Dame to win right now?
Do you make sure he's okay?
I mean, they won. I mean, I hope he's okay. I mean, he's okay now. I would basically see how he was going to be. Like, I would hear the scream and then be like, I'm not going to check on him yet. And then I would wait like 10 seconds, and then I'd see what would happen and be like, if it was good, I'd be like, all right, he's fine. He's happy.
Are you a Notre Dame fan? Or you just rooting against Texas A&M?
I wasn't actually rooting against Texas A&M. I do like Notre Dame. I know a couple people. I know one of the managers for Notre Dame football. I know one of the cheerleaders for Notre Dame football. He is about 6'5", 250 of straight muscle. Shout out to Nick Honey. A buddy of mine who played at Notre Dame and now plays for the Bucks. And then, I mean, I like Notre Dame. I think as a guy who's gone to Jesuit school all my life, to not go for Notre Dame would be criminal.
It's all about the Catholics.
That's fair.
But yeah. Anyways, we got a little lost in the Barrett story, but yeah. But Oregon Penn State, definitely the biggest game of the night. Just I'll let Bradley go first because I know Bradley probably has.
I'm the Penn State
copious. Yeah,
fan.
I was like
so.
you. Like he has probably
Big
a quick 28-minute rant on the Penn State team, real quick.
It's just I think last year's team is better than this year's team, obviously, because a lot of the guys like Abdul Carter, for example, Tyler Warren, all left this year. But I'm also a really big guy. I've said this on College Ground before. I'm a big guy for saying that, like, choosing teams that will finally get their upsets and like break it.
Is it the whiteout this weekend too?
I think it is the whiteout.
Oh,
so
I gotta watch it now.
this is the game of the year. Penn State has to win. I think this is the game to solidify the second best team in the Big Ten, because obviously Ohio State, reigning champions until proven otherwise. So I think this is the matchup of.
I mean, and the only other game they actually have that should give them trouble is Ohio State after this. Besides Indiana might be a little bit, but it's at home.
I'm always nervous about playing Ohio State because I'm always like, okay, I'm like one of those delusional Penn State fans. Like, this is the year that they'll finally beat Ohio State. This is the year, and I thought last year was that year, but Drew Allard once again I have I have a lot of animosity towards Drew Allard, especially in the college football playoff last year. But enough of last year. Let's shift it to this year. I think I definitely think Penn State can win this game. Really, all Drew Allard has to do is just hand the ball off 200,000 times to Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen, arguably the best. I think they're the best tandem of running backs in the country. Drew Allard doesn't even really have to throw a pass. He could just in case it wasn't obvious, I don't like Drew Allard. So
Really?
he's just
I didn't
Jackson
notice
Dart.
that.
He's literally Jackson Dart with more arm strength. So as
What are you saying
Barrett
about
has,
Jackson Dart?
I don't like Jackson Dart either. I don't think the Giants should have drafted him, but that's
I mean, you're not wrong, but
That's
Oh,
for-
trust
gotta
me,
say
we're
it.
gonna get into
That's
some
for the
Jackson
Giants segment.
Dart.
yeah, I'm
Jackson
getting ahead of
Dart
myself. I'm sorry.
conversation.
But the Penn State can win every single game if they just hand the ball off 200 times. There's really, I don't. Every time Drew Aller throws up a pass, I am like saying like a Hail Mary in Our Father, just praying, please, someone beat. Because every time Drew Aller throws the ball, it's like a 30-yard like missile, and I'm just like, please,
Someone be there.
someone just, someone in a Penn State jersey. I don't care if it's James Franklin himself. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's like any random like coaching staff member. Someone be down there to catch the football. And every time I see like more like of the opponents like guarding the wide receiver than like the actual receiver, I'm like, okay, there's probably an interception. And yeah, I think Penn State can't win this game. It's all going to come down to how does the running game show up, because Oregon's defense is pretty solid. So I think this is the year Penn State finally breaks out of that slump, because obviously James Franklin, I think he's 1-13 against top 10 teams, and I think he's 0-10 against top 5 teams. So obviously that's really bad if you're
Bradley,
Good
2
stats.
words. Go Ducks.
no.
Go Ducks.
Are you a Ducks fan or?
No, I'm not. I'm just hating on you.
Oh, I thought you were like a Ducks fan.
No, my cousin actually did go to Penn State, so
So,
I'm
same with my
rooting for them.
cousin. My cousin went to Penn State, and I went to that whiteout game in I think it was 2019, where it was Penn State Michigan, and Michigan called timeout in the first play of the game. That was one of the best like sporting experiences I've ever been a part of, just to be there. And that if you ever have the chance to go to a Penn State whiteout game, it will change your life. Like, you should definitely go.
We're going.
That's totally me being biased.
What about
but-
all the Ohio State people out there? Should they go?
Well, I mean, if you want to see your team hopefully lose this year, then you should go. But what do you guys think? What do you?
To give real
let's-
quick before we get into that, to give some score updates. Currently 0-0 for every team that's playing right now. USC, Illinois at Illinois, Georgia Tech now ranked 16 in the country, playing Wake Forest at Wake Forest, and then Notre Dame and Arkansas. No one scored yet, but
Arkansas
we'll keep you
just hit a
updated
field
on
goal,
that. We'll keep you. Did Arkansas just
yeah,
hit one?
Notre Dame,
39-yard
no one
field goal.
scores.
Arkansas.
So Arkansas is up 3-0, and Notre Dame's season continues to go the way they were really hoping
What
it was
happened?
not going
What
to go.
happened?
But
their fall off needs to be studied.
It needs to. I don't understand it. You go to the
their
Natty
fall.
and-
It seems like it's like every 3 years. Like they build up every 4 years. They build up and then they drop down.
They don't even have
And
a
they build
home.
up.
Notre Dame
and
doesn't
then
have
they
a home.
drop
They're not
down.
even in a
Independent.
conference. At least if you're gonna.
I think
ranked
they
to have a
need.
home.
I think if the New York Yankees allow their players to grow beards, Notre Dame should join a conference. Tradition is gone. Join a
Yeah.
conference. Join it.
Doesn't
Make
matter
it better. Are you like you need that like and the worst it actually hurts Notre Dame more because they have to play so many like high ranking teams, right? Like it's like they can't if they go and win all their games, but they didn't play a single ranked team, they're not getting in the college football. Like they
They're
won't.
not.
So now they have to just absolutely fill up their season with just all these insane teams. I mean, didn't they start with Miami? Was
They
that
started
their
with
first-
Miami.
Yeah,
They
that
got
game was good.
destroyed. But
Go
honestly,
Convicts.
Miami's great. So
Go Convicts.
Miami only won by a field goal.
So-
It was 27-24.
no, it was. I didn't feel like it was close though.
Max, it's all about the
Yeah,
U. It's all about the U. It's all about the U in Miami.
That was so
Uh,
cringe.
No, dude. No, my
Don't do that again.
I love you. I love the U.
I like how he was doing that while wearing a U of A hat. Too.
no.
Go Cats.
2 things I gotta say. One, big U fan because my very close family friend. He has great connections with Miami, and he actually has one of the rings, the championship rings from the '90s. And we had like this Super Bowl party that I used to go to when I used to be at home, and he'd always come with it, just blinged out and just flex it on everybody, and it was so the coolest thing ever. And when I imagine like a kid seeing that, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so cool.
If I saw that now, I'd be like, he's
He's
so
so
cool.
cool.
Like,
Still,
that's
he's so
so
cool.
awesome. I am so unrelated to football, but old weight coach when I used to play baseball in high school, he went to Oregon and ran track at Oregon, and he once pulled out all his rings from all the championships he's won. And he had 2 hands worth of rings, and I was like, how long did you go to Oregon? Dude? I was like, how old are you? But no, he was just pull them out. He just like occasionally wear them.
There must have been extra eligibility back then, maybe that we don't know
Something.
about.
I don't know. Maybe he was winning. Maybe the other ones were just like local track meets that he would like sneak into and win. But yeah, I think I don't even think we need. I don't think any other game this weekend matters besides Penn State and Oregon. And I do believe Oregon is going to lose.
Yeah,
I think Penn State wide out.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
I think Penn State. I don't think they're as bad as last year's team. I think.
I think they're
not
as
as bad.
bad.
Let me rephrase that. I don't think
That's good.
saying they are much worse than last year's team is like a true statement. I think they're up there, and I think they're proving that they should be up there so far this season
Yeah.
in that ranking. Like usually they get put up pretty high in the rankings. Everyone's like, why? This year I don't feel like you're hearing a lot of why.
And I
I
feel
feel
like
they're proving why they should be.
I feel like even though this team is not up to par with last team, this is the year they have to win it all, because obviously with a lot of these guys being seniors and going to be going on to the draft, with Drew Aller possibly being the number 1 overall pick. Giants, please do not pick him whatsoever. I do not want Drew Aller, Jackson
They're
Dart,
gonna
Giants
pick him.
quarterback. That's for
They're gonna pick him.
that's for NFL. But I do think that a lot of pressure's on. I think Penn State, you can make the argument, has some of, if not the most pressure to win of any team, with most of their team being seniors and going on to the draft. And James Franklin's job should be on the line. If it wasn't on the line last year, it should be on the line this year. Because obviously, as I put it earlier, he only has 1 win in his coaching career. Sorry, I banged the mic on accident.
Oh,
Yeah, Max was
No,
looking, panicking.
That was my fault. But he is one. I think he's 1
I
in
thought
10.
the weather quickly changed, turned into hail.
Yeah, he's like 1 in 11 against teams in the top 10. So it could be 2 in 10, or it could be 1 in 11, whatever it is.
A little off topic, but since you mentioned the whiteout, one thing that I don't like about college football is the noon games.
I hate that. Yep.
I
Because,
mean,
like,
I
you
think they
lose the
did a good.
atmosphere.
I think they did a good job making the Oregon Penn State game a 7:30 game.
They did.
I
but
think
I'm
that's
glad
great.
that's a 7:30 game.
I think though, like I agree, they ruin a lot of
Yeah,
games by that.
especially the season opener with Texas and Ohio State. Even though it was overall a horrendous game to watch, it was just boring. But not only that, but like there was no atmosphere. Like I'm just like felt like I was watching two. If you take away the fact that there were Texas and Ohio State, this is just another game.
It's just like for next week they put Vanderbilt and Alabama at 12 o'clock,
Why? Why are you doing that?
and that, based off of what I'm looking at, it looks like to be the best game of the week so far.
No, Miami plays
The
Florida.
thing that
State.
makes college football so
yeah,
special.
that's
is the
also at
atmosphere,
noon.
though.
See,
No, Miami Florida State's at 7:30.
Yeah. But the thing about college
Sure.
football that makes it so special is the
you're right,
atmosphere, and
my
they're just
bad.
taking that part away. Like the whiteout, when you think about college football, you think about those kind of nights. The
You guys seen that
whiteouts.
Moglia Stadium atmosphere.
Mowgli Stadium atmosphere. It's
getting
electric.
crazy.
Be there Saturday. What time's the game?
Crazy lit.
Is the game going on right now? What time is the game?
Game starts at 1.
1.
Be there. I'll be watching on my phone.
they should be at the Rose
If you
Hill
want to
campus.
tune
by
in,
the
it's
way.
on WFUV 90.7 FM and on our YouTube page.
Great plug, Kurt. Great plug.
Look at Kurt, dude. He's doing his job right now.
Yeah,
He's
taking your
not
job.
even doing his job. He's doing his job and more. And that's what we need out of him.
He's
And
going
he's
above
throwing a
and
fit.
beyond.
And he's throwing a fit. He's
Yeah.
doing everything at once.
He's going above and beyond.
Yeah.
I think just so we stay a little bit on schedule, that might be the end of us talking about college football today. I know, Bradley. I cut Bradley short. I feel bad.
No, it's.
Poor
I'm
Bradley.
excited to get into football. That's for sure.
But yeah, I think after this break, we're going to be talking some soccer, a little Ballon d'Or conversation since that happened this week. And call in at 718-817-2750.
What's up, everyone? I'm Brendan Shorey.
And I'm Joe Henry, your 2025 New York Jets beat reporters.
Follow along with us every Sunday as we cover and analyze all things JETS.
With a new quarterback at the helm, can Aaron Glenn right the ship and cause chaos in the AFC East?
Stay updated every week with game updates and recaps from @Brendan_Shorey.
And at Joe Henry _4 on X.
WFUV, your home for Jets football.
I'll let you guys carry this.
Welcome back to another section of WFUV's one-on-one. Sorry, I'm a little flustered right now because we're talking a little soccer. Luis sadly pointed me to Madrid losing 5-2 to Atletico right now, which is very disappointing on many different levels. Oh my goodness. I mean, Griezmann with a goal. He only has one goal. That's the only.
Yeah,
Griezmann didn't even start. They didn't even start Griezmann today, and he had a goal. I mean, the fact that Zabi isn't starting Mastanuo, who is probably our best young player. I mean, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Courtois now has a 4.5. He now has a 4.5 rating, which is unbelievably awesome for everyone.
Who's not?
Militano's injured.
One thing that no one could see, but we had a little funny moment. Not funny for Max, but I showed Max the news on my phone, and he kind of looked like had a crazy reaction. It looked like someone died, and Kurt saw it from the studio behind
scared.
the board.
Kurt
and Kurt's
nervous.
like, "What?" He comes into the room like, "What happened? What happened?"
Kurt was nervous.
And then he tells him, "Oh, Real Madrid
I thought
just
something
got
like
stomped."
burned down in the studio. I thought Max's computer exploded.
No, you thought I just like spilt water over every wire we had in the studio.
Yeah. And then as soon as like he says, "Oh, Real Madrid just got stomped by Atletico," he's like, "Oh,"
Okay.
and just walks out.
Like it was something that should happen. Honestly, I was having this conversation the other day. Someone's like, "Oh, like Atletico or Madrid, they're so bad, they're so overrated." I was like, "Dude, we're having a great start to the season. We're unbelievable now." And then this happens. I mean, I open my mouth. I'm like, "Hey, Mbappe's not that bad anymore."
He's having good. He's having a good.
He's actually having a great year because, dude, if they change that offside rule, I mean, he would become like he'd have 50 goals a season if they changed it. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Madrid disappointing me once again. We're here to talk about Ballon d'Or, which disappointed millions of people. And I think maybe the best way to do this would just be going down the. Let's just do top 10, maybe.
Top 10.
Top 10. Read it down. I mean, I don't think there's any real conversations outside of the top 10. I mean, maybe. I mean, Pedri was 11. They had. Who else did they have out there? They had. I mean, Van Dijk, my personal favorite center back. He was at 28 with only 7 points. Jude Bellingham was even 21 points, and he's the poster boy for the England team, so that's kind of crazy. But looking into these top 10, goes Mendes from PSG, of course. Donnarumma, which being that high up as a keeper is very impressive, and I know justified. PSG just wishes he was still there. I'm not even a PSG fan. I wish he was still at PSG.
It was bad the way they did him.
They did him dirty, and honestly, seeing the love the PSG players were giving him at the ceremony was great to see. Cole Palmer,
25th. Wait, no, what was it? 8th.
8th. Cole Palmer 8th.
I think that's a little overrated. That's a little overrated.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just because he had a good Club World Cup, like he was playing teams who will never play in another Club World Cup when he's alive.
I love the direct eye contact with the camera the entire time.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I would put Donnarumma ahead of Cole Palmer, and then Kylian Mbappe in 7th, which is actually pretty impressive with how he started last season. Hakimi, PSG again, in 6th. And here's where it gets a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is Rafinha
5th.
In 5th, which is, I mean, come on.
That's wild.
We're about to get into that once I finish these because, goodness gracious. Then we have Salah in 4th, which
I think it's a little
also
overrated.
a little crazy in my eyes.
Maybe like a few
It's because they won the Prem.
I mean,
why.
honestly, I love Salah. I have a Salah jersey. Almost wore today if we weren't doing a golf theme. But I love Salah. But him being 4th, maybe a little crazy with the second half of the season he had, especially Egypt is still struggling. I don't know if they've qualified yet. I don't think they have.
No.
So Egypt's still struggling to qualify for the World Cup. So I mean, granted, his first half of the season was unbelievable. I think he was the best right winger in the world at that time. So I see why he's there. And then Vintia, I've never, is it Vintia? I always pronounce his name wrong, but PSG again in 3rd, which that is just like, where is that coming from?
I don't know. This next one's gonna get me mad. Even though
this
I'm a
next
Barca
one,
fan.
which
Uh,
now I see why you showed me that so eagerly earlier. Lamine Yamal in second. I mean, he won best youngest player under 21 in the world. Makes sense because he is. But he is in second with 1,059 votes or points, which I don't know how they necessarily decide. I think it's off votes maybe. And then of course the winner, Dembele from PSG, which by the way, they won the Champions League. No thanks to him. I mean, we're gonna get into it. I think me sitting here right now, I would tell you the 1 and 2 should have been Dembele and Rafinha, and then you could go either way with that. But Rafinha being all the way in 5th is insane to me.
It is. And again, I've brought this up so many times. It's just the narrative story in sports is too powerful.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I get Barcelona got knocked out pretty quickly in Champions League.
Nah, they had a good fight against Inter.
I think quicker. They shouldn't have lost to Inter. In my opinion.
That was a good.
By
good.
quickly, I'm saying quickly, like they lost in the semis. But granted, I still think they should have beat Inter, and that was very disappointing. I think that's maybe what hurt a lot.
It was that was a game they should have won, especially that was. I'm remembering
PSG.
now. That was such a good
Barca
game.
would have been an amazing.
It would have been, but and then Inter just got smacked by PSG.
Inter just got destroyed.
that was a back end. That was a back end. Yeah, I don't know. Yamal is not even the best player. Rafinha is better than him. I mean, Yamal has
I agree. Yeah.
He has the potential. Obviously, he's gonna way greater potential than Rafinha. But that doesn't mean anything. He had an all right season. He is obviously the best young player. But it's just he's the face of the team because he's so young. He's going to be the future of Barca. And it shows that these reporters or the people who vote it's political. I don't know who said it earlier. I think it might have been Maggie who said it. But did you say it? I don't remember who said it.
It's very political. Yeah.
It's a very political thing. And this just proves it. And it kind of takes the value away. Dembele should be getting his flowers, but it kind of takes away.
It hurts him because it doesn't seem like he got first over the guy who's in second. It seems like he got first over the guy who's in 5th, which kind of takes it away from you.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I don't think he's thinking that whatsoever right now. I think he's enjoying it. I remember there was the big controversy at first because they scheduled PSG Marseille got delayed until Monday. And then everyone was like, oh, my God, Dembele's not even top 2 because he's not going to be able to make the ceremony. And then everyone realized that Dembele's hurt. So then you're like, oh, he can make the ceremony. But it was back and forth. But, I just think every other award is very, very statistical, very realistic, right? Yamal won an award for youngest player, as I said. Donnarumma won an award. These people are winning awards for things they deserve, and then as soon as you get to the Ballon d'Or, it's
no statistics.
Who's gonna make? Because if you look at statistics, it should be Dembele and Rafinha, or Rafinha, just right there.
Statistically,
right
Rafinha.
It also hurts Rafinha that Brazil did not play any major tournament in the last year. Obviously, Nations League was going on in Europe, so that was a big thing for France to be able to play, even though they didn't even win Nations League or even go to the final. But I was just crazy to me. I really I sat and watched the Ballon d'Or ceremony for 6 hours expecting it, and then the rankings come out, and then next thing you know, you see at the 5 spot Rafinha, and you're like, whoa,
what's going on?
Honestly, I was surprised to even see Salah at the 4 spot. I thought it was going to go Salah, Rafinha, Dembele at most, because I think it was already decided before.
It always is. There's a
always
reason.
gonna be
It's just for
Dembele.
show. Because
PSG
had
everyone
a
knows
game.
when it is. Yeah.
PSG had a game that day, and Dembele skipped it.
Yeah.
Just so he could get the award, obviously.
Yeah. So it's that's insane. I think, what I think is even more insane, and I'll say this last thing before I send it over to you, Bradley, is that it seems every media outlet you look at, right? If they're making little, hey, who should the top 3 be for it, right? Lamine Yamal, if they take the projected top 3, or they say, give me your top 3. Salah's not mentioned ever in anyone's. Yamal is always at the number 2 spot, regardless. Some even have him actually winning it. I actually saw many videos where these guys who are paid to be analysts have Yamal winning the Ballon d'Or.
They're just trying to push
late.
that narrative of like, oh, the young guy finally, like, you know,
You're
The
gonna
new
hurt. You're
Messi.
gonna hurt him. We've seen the same thing in sports, in any sport. You give this person too much, like, I wouldn't say power, but like almost too
Credit.
much. It happened with Volpe, right? Like
Yeah,
Volpe, a
like-
big reason Volpe might be is that they basically
Yeah.
compared him to Jeter before he
They
even
did.
played.
exactly.
But
And that
it
hurt
could
him.
go either way though, because look at Bryce Harper. He was getting all that hype when he was coming out of high school, and then he lived up to that
And
hype.
I
Same
think
thing with LeBron. He lived
What
up
about
to the hype.
KG? So there's
like
so many other guys.
Lamine has actually lived up to it. I will say, I think he has lived up to it 100%. But just I think putting him in the new number 2 spot,
Is wild.
it hurts him more than it helps him, right? Like he got his award for best player under 21. He's gonna get that award for 2 more years, right? He's gonna get that award until he's too old to get it, and then I'm like, but making him Ballon d'Or, and then putting some people who should have been in the top 10 not even close to it, it just really just is super confusing.
No, and I think like it kind of shows the hypocrisy in the the hypocrisy where it's like for every other award we care about every single statistic, and then when we get to arguably the most important award, it's like, oh, we don't care about. And I saw this one article. I'm not going to say the news outlets. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but they were talking about how like why I voted for Dembele over Rafinha, and they started talking about the statistics. But then I did my own research, and I'm like, Rafinha has better in almost every. And I'm a huge stat guy. I'm a huge stat head now, and Rafinha is better in almost every single statistic. So why are you using the statistics argument if Rafinha is better than Dembele in 99% of
In
every-
Champions League also, like a lot of arguments happen about Champions League, but obviously last year Vinny was not given the Ballon d'Or when, to be completely honest, he had just as good a stats as Rodri. But
You think he should have, or
I think he should have won it.
I think should have won it. Most people are gonna disagree with that. I'm surprised you agree.
Nah, he deserved it. He deserved it.
Fist bump there. But honestly, like that was very confusing to me because he's a big reason that Madrid won that Champions League that they won.
That was the most boring Champions League.
Yeah, I
It was
mean,
so boring.
thing is though, if it's boring, that means like this person was that dominant that it's like
you
like,
kind of
you
get like
should-
numb to how like good they play.
yeah, and
it's
it's honestly hurt Vinny because he hasn't played the same
Yeah, he
since then.
there.
He took it really much to heart. Madrid made a big deal about it. It really hurt him in the bit and at the end.
I know this is a little off topic, but since we're talking about soccer, what do you think? Do you think Vinny's gonna leave Real Madrid? Because
So I actually posted that on my Twitter yesterday, at the Max Spitz, and I was seeing Zabi is refusing to play both of them at the same time. Rodrigo and Vinny at the same time.
I don't blame him. It's
and-
just gonna be better for the team.
And I posted, it was like, who do you think he is gonna stay? And to be completely honest, I think Vinny will stay. I think Rodrigo will leave because Rodrigo's been. Vinny plays enough. Rodrigo just gets pushed to the side. And I think up until his injury, Rodrigo is top 3 right winger in the world. I think before his injury, because that's before like Yamal really came into the light, I think he was actually the top right winger in the world in 2024 and even in 2023. But I think genuinely one of them needs to leave. And I think it's going to be Rodrigo, and then I think Vinny's close. Because Vinny wants more money.
I think
He wants a lot of money.
He
and
does.
it's like, you did not play. Maybe
It-
2 years ago we would have given it to you.
Are
But
you going
last
based
year
off,
you
like,
don't deserve that.
maybe like based off potential. Maybe he thinks that like
Well,
he's old.
he's reached. He's
He's
not
peaked.
going to get much better than he is. He's not playing great, but he's not going to get much better.
one thing I'll say is that Vinny
would
also
you pay him or
Would
No.
you?
I wouldn't pay him. I wouldn't pay Vinny at all.
How
But then
much is he
Rodrigo
asking
wants just
for?
as much money, so it's I forget. It was this summer when he was asking for
Yeah,
it.
one thing I say about Vinny, that kind of convinces me that he's gonna leave is that Vinny's known for having a massive ego and
Mhm.
like being a problem maker. You know, everyone says, I'm just here to play football. I'm just here to play football, kind of guy. That he just causes a lot of issues, not only with fans but also with the team, where he kind of instigates stuff.
Yeah, and I also think, I mean, Madrid has a lot of young talent that they're starting to. It looks like Zabi's role hasn't been, let's use the best guys we have right now. Let's just go buy a bunch of people. It's like, hey, let's build this talent because Madrid is known for just buying players.
Kind of
And
the The Yankees of soccer.
Yeah, they are the Yankees of soccer. I completely agree. I will say, I had to look up his name just because he doesn't play ever anymore. Gonzalo Garcia, I think, is going to be a very bright part of Madrid in the future. He's 21 years old. They, for some reason, gave the number 9 to Endrick instead of him. But I think he is definitely a bright spot, and I think Vinny and Rodrigo are seeing that. Zabi's no longer really playing 3 up top. He's now starting to play just 1 or 2 up top. Especially the way Mbappe is playing, I just think it's probably time for them to head out. Hopefully Madrid can get something out of it, like some transfer money out of it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So do you put Vinny on the market in 2026, or do you just let him hit free agency in 2027?
Is it 2027 when his contract's done?
2027, he's a free agent. I just pulled it up. And then
I
2026,
wouldn't let
you
him
put on the
walk because
market.
then you're gonna have to pay.
You're
him
gonna
more.
have to like at this point might as well just get a transfer fee for him.
Yeah.
Cause so
At least you get something back for that. But I
Kurt's
kind
walking in
of.
here.
Oh, Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt
What's
entering.
going on, Kurt?
Bert, here you go. You gotta look at your phone.
Oh, jeez.
That's for next break.
So one thing I feel like I kind of forgot to mention, and we kind of like, because we were like so upset with Yamal coming in seconds, that Dembele, not only did he win, he had that wonderful moment where he brought his mom on stage and he talked to her, you know, kind of showing how much she was such a pillar in his life coming up, but also that he kind of beat this narrative against Barca, where everyone at Barca hated him and they kind of like treated him horribly at his time there, especially on his way out. And he finally got, you know, like one last hoorah for himself, where he said, "Aha, I proved you wrong. Like, I am a great player. I won the Ballon d'Or over your top guy."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I think the Ballon d'Or recently is it's just, I don't know. It's very difficult. I think with the World Cup coming up too, this next year's Ballon d'Or is going to be even worse because they're going to take.
It can get worse than this, I guess.
Yeah, it's always the World Cup plays such a big factor into it, how they play. There could be a team, like, there could be a player who generally deserves it, but say Spain wins. If Spain wins the World Cup this year, like, they're gonna Yamal's probably gonna get it. So it's very difficult.
They're
But
the favorites, right? Spain is the favorites.
Spain is the favorites if they end up playing in it. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have anything else to say about the Ballon d'Or or even the soccer? Is there any games that you're looking forward to this weekend?
Oh, I'm a big AC Milan fan. They've been doing really good in the Coppa Italia. They just beat Lecce, I believe, a couple days ago on Monday. I don't really remember too much what day it was, but they also have a good game coming up against, I forgot exactly. No, it was against Napoli, I believe, on tomorrow, which is going to be a massive game. Napoli is currently the top team in Serie A, and this is a must-win. And Milan is just like
Milan's been playing.
They've been playing really good, and they're really exceeding my
Especially Pulisic
expectations.
is playing very well.
Yeah, Modric still got it,
He does. I'm very happy to see him playing the way he's playing right now.
and I might get his jersey. You know the new the white jersey they have with the devil on the.
Yeah, it's super
I'm gonna
cool.
get that with Modric's number on
I think
it.
their uniforms are always very cool, except
They
for
are.
the yellow one. The yellow one's a little. Weird.
I don't like that one. It doesn't look
It
good.
looks like a referee jersey.
It does, but I'm really excited for that game, and I'm excited for AC Milan as a fan, and I really hope they can get back to the Champions League or at least the Europa League because they've been out of it for the past 2 years.
I guess the general takeaways of award shows are very politicized, and I guess it's unfortunate the world we live in now where back then it used to be all about, the actual sport and stats, and now I feel like we're kind of shifting in a new era where it's just
Yeah, it's all about the media, man.
it's all about the media and the narratives. I guess that's
I've been
it's
saying
sad.
it all day.
And you have a point there, Luis. I got to give you credit. It's slowly turning to more about the narratives than the actual play on the field.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's all we really have to say about the Ballon d'Or because Rafinha should have won. Everyone knows Rafinha should have won. Dembele knows
Preach.
Rafinha should have won. But besides that, I just wanted to throw over to a cool little segment we have. And so here's the latest from Bobby Chaffardini in the world of motorsports.
We turn our attention to the world of motorcycles. 3 riders will go into the Moto America finale this weekend with a shot at the 2025 Superbike Championship. Bobby Fong leads the way at New Jersey Motorsports Park with Cameron Beaubier, Josh Herron hot on his tail. It's a triple header round Saturday and Sunday. Coverage of the 9th round begins today on Peacock and NBC Sports. The second race of the triple header will be held tomorrow at noon before the finale at 3 p.m.
Welcome back to WFUV's One-on-One. I'm Max Spitza. I'm joined here with Bradley and Luis. And if you guys want to call in with any takes, like Bradley said, even if they're terrible, call in at 718-817-2750. And as I said in the very beginning, I keep referring to this very beginning because I think it was probably the best beginning of a show of all time. But we are witnessing an atrocious Ryder Cup by the USA national team right now. I mean, I'm gonna just pull out we see a lot of movement in the studio right now. We're gonna pull out. So right now, the U.S. has 3.5 points, and Europe has 8.5. Europe only needs 3.5 point, or they need 5.5 points. Am I doing that math right?
Yeah,
Okay.
5.5.
The 0.5 is messing me up. 5.5 points to win their second in a row. Actually, it might be third in a row. But to retain the championship. So, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start right now. Obviously, I have the Ryder Cup hat on right now, and of course, courtesy to my buddy Andrew Cimini for getting this to me when he went on Thursday. But I mean, it has been.
I think I could tell you where to start. Disappointed.
Yeah.
Annoyed.
Yeah.
Like right now, the announcer is so hype, announcing the new lineups for the 2-ball event, for the 4-ball event right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like the crowd still feels dead.
They need to.
We're
4-ball
in New York right now, and it's dead in the crowd.
Yesterday was absolutely electric crowds. They had Air Force One fly over, which is the craziest flyover I've ever seen. I didn't even know that was possible. It came in, and it wasn't even just like a calm. It flew in, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
For a golf tournament, it's kind of crazy.
What was
that's
that?
crazy.
The president was there. Like it felt like it was like. Just
I was like, "All right, this is the U.S.
it.
is coming. Like they're going to win this year," and it did not. I mean, it's been everyone. Scheffler hasn't been playing 100%.
Scheffler's been.
I will say, and I don't think I'm one. I'm going to get this rant off my chest right off the bat. I don't think I am the only person to believe this. Patrick Cantley, take any longer, why don't you? I mean, it's like every time he walks up to the ball, he takes 20 minutes to swing. And if he hits it great, it's like, yeah, take all the time you want. But then he hits a bad one, you're like, dude, I'm like, dude, you just wasted 20 minutes of my life to see you hit it in the bunker.
You have
like,
to size up the ball. You have to be the ball.
You don't take 20
He
minutes.
isn't the ball. He's nowhere close to being the ball.
You don't take 20
It's
minutes.
ridiculous.
The ball is in
He
the
has to be
mind.
overthinking it. He has to be overthinking it.
As I said earlier, I shot an 86 at Van Cortlandt, so I think I can speak on this.
Crazy flex.
I'm like a 20 handicap, so I think I can speak on this. But but like, I mean, it's just like you're killing the momentum. Your teammate just hits an absolute dart on the green, and then you sit over your ball for 10 minutes. I'm like, dude, you gotta. And this is just what he's known for. He's always been known for being I mean, I would hate to be his playing partner on Sunday in a major tournament, right?
Sam Burns, right?
Like, Patrick Cantley. Yeah.
No,
his
partner.
Xander's was his partner today. Xander's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if anyone saw Xander and Bryson in the Ryder Cup photo in the dinner before Friday, but obviously Xander's wife just gave birth to their child, so very congratulations to that. But that also means that she's not at the Ryder Cup right now. So Xander and Bryson posed up a little bit, and Xander, hit the little leg kick, really bought into it, and I think that's why they won their match today. But actually, they lost their match today. I take that back completely. Everyone lost, almost everyone except for Bryson won his, because Bryson is an American through and through. But yeah, so I mean, we were sitting down watching with our friends, and Cantley was making Barrett so upset. Barrett was like, dude, I want him to fail. I was like, dude, it's like he's representing us. You can't have him fail. But yeah, besides that, I mean, putting has been probably the biggest issue for the U.S. team so far. Scheffler, hopefully he steps up tomorrow. I mean, he's playing in the singles tomorrow. I mean, he has to be, right?
Scheffler actually.
Did they decide those yet? No, they haven't called those
Team
out.
captains come out tomorrow and decide it. Well, at night they decide them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Scheffler put him against Rory, dude. Love to see.
He's so cool.
That would be cinema.
Oh my goodness.
But also the putting, Max. When we were talking about that, I can't tell you how disappointing it is when they're going out on the green and it looks like me.
Yeah, it's like they have
looks like me out
They
there.
have a 7-foot putt, and it's like they're missing it.
This
And then
is what they've practiced for their
Rory,
entire
who by
lives.
the way, not the best, not known for his putting. Rory's actually known for the opposite of it. Is hitting like 15 footers. It also you see the oh my God, who was it? It was Bryson's playing mate yesterday. It was Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin hits a absolutely monster putt. I think it was at least 25 feet, 30 feet maybe. And then what does Justin Rose do to tie the hole? Hits himself a 30-foot putt to tie the hole. And so they don't end up winning that hole. They end up losing by one hole that in the round. So, I mean, honestly, Europe, it seems like they're continuing it. I haven't been able to watch too much because we've been here with you guys doing this amazing show.
Here on
But
90.7
I've actually
FM?
been like
Yeah,
turning
90.7
around
FM.
in the other studio and like checking in on it. Right
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on in the
USA's
studio
down
behind
5.
us. Yeah, they're down 5, and they actually have to win 4. They have to get 14.5 to win it all, for whatever reason. I mean, that's like kind of a weird rule to have, but that's
Weird
what they
number,
do.
too.
Yeah, because Europe only needs to win 14. They only need 14 points. I don't know. Ryder Cup. I've been watching the Ryder Cup for a very long time, and I just am now starting to understand the rules. Like they come up, like they'll play around, and I'll be like, like I don't actually know how they won that point, but they won that point there. So
You know what's really funny? Yesterday on TV, the broadcasters, they were like, here are the rules once again. I'm sure you all know this. And I'm sitting there
like
like
90% of people who are
No!
watching this have never watched golf besides the Masters or like the U.S. Open before.
yes,
Like Kurt.
pretty much. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, you would never know the difference when I'm out on in Farmingdale today.
At Mushila. Just ripping the course. But yeah, no, I mean, what do you guys have to say about this? Because this is just, I'm lost. I mean, I've said a
sad.
lot of words, but
I
I'm
saw
almost
a,
lost.
They actually showed it on the broadcast while we were watching the back, and I was typing it down. Scottie Scheffler became the first world #1 golfer to lose both matches on opening day, with neither one getting to the 17th hole. So.
I think the only time I've ever seen a golfer this good or a pair this good be this bad was 2006 with Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson when they were on a team, and they just got absolutely bodied. Yeah, that's the best way to say it.
That was actually another.
I was finding the best way to say it. Body's the best way.
There's another stat. Speaking of Tiger Woods, another thing for Scotty Scheffler. He's the third world number one golfer to lose twice on opening day. Tiger Woods did it twice in 99 and 02, and Ian Wisnam did it in 1991. So kind of bad history.
I think Tiger needs to be the guy with the headset. I mean, Keegan's great. I mean,
I would love to hear
Keegan's
Tiger
done
on the
this. I
headset.
think it's awesome, but I think Tiger Woods needs to be next Ryder Cup needs to be remotely involved, or even Phil needs to be remotely involved. I just think like I do. That's another question to ask everyone. Someone might know because I don't. Might have to ask our guest who's coming up. But what do they talk about on those headsets? Like who are they talking to? Have you seen that? Like Keegan's wearing a headset and he's talking to it a lot.
Maybe he's
Like
trying to
who's he
get
talking up to? Like a coaching box? Like it's college football? Like what is he doing?
All right, we're gonna run FY Sky here.
Yeah, I'm like, is he trying to see the they don't really say much to the players either unless it's between holes. So it's like, who is he talking to? He's not talking to the players. He's not gonna.
I don't know. Maybe he's asking for advice. He's like.
It's just very odd for him. I mean, he could be talking to his co-captain.
Maybe he's trying to order dinner for later.
I think he would be.
Maybe he's like
his co-captain.
I'll get
he's
maybe.
talking to.
Can you give me like a number 3?
Because they do have a co-captain, and
because
especially earlier in the day when they're all out, like he obviously can't follow each team.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it might be. They probably have a guy per group.
Yeah.
See, I'm answering these questions. I didn't even think about this yesterday.
Maybe it's like a score update where just like.
That's what happens when you shoot 86. You know everything.
Score update. Next round doesn't start until.
No, I mean like for the headset. Maybe they're like trying to tell them like, okay, this is.
It did just start, right? They just teed off, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
They're through one hole. So the first group is through one hole. The second group, it looks like they're a little delayed. Yeah. So the second group, they're a little delayed. Yeah. So they're coming out right now. And I mean. Rahm's been dominant. I think JJ Spawn has an opportunity, and so does Xander, to really show why they're on this team. I think Patrick Cantley can take all the time he wants as long as he's beating Fitzpatrick. Who else do we got? We got Scotty and Bryson together. Scotty and Bryson, the faces of both of their respective leagues. I mean, they're playing Fleetwood and Rose, who, I mean, on paper, they should, Scotty and Bryson should win this. This would be a huge win for them to win this.
It's kind of a must-win at this point.
It is.
I mean, it is definitely a must-win. Who knows if they're even gonna?
I don't think
they gotta make it. They gotta make it to the singles at this point. I mean, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess they will make it regardless. But it's like
it really feels like they might not make Sunday. I know
they
will make
it's
Sunday,
but it's like
there's no energy. There's no liveliness. The golfers don't really seem very enthused right now.
I think putting Scotty and Bryson together is such a good decision, just because Scotty's very mellow, and Bryson's very not.
The opposite.
And I think right now is Scotty plays so well in singles matches because he's super calm, regardless of what happens. But right now we're not in the singles match. We're in the Ryder Cup. I need him to get a little patriotic. I need him to show up with
they got their
like a
USA
bald
on.
ego. These, by the way, these uniforms today are much better.
Yesterday's were
the
awful.
hats yesterday were
awful.
Why are they wearing a gray hat?
I wasn't really sure. It was their road grays, but they're home.
Yeah, I'm like, the whole weekend's home. Why are you wearing a gray hat? Also, the U.S. logo, they should just go to the USA like World Baseball Classic logo, with just the star in the U.S.
This is like the Olympic logos. This is the Olympic
Yeah.
team logo. USA
I mean,
stuff.
They
Today's
should
are
change
better.
that.
Today's are so
They're
much better.
no, they're much better. Yesterday's were atrocious.
I'm also not a fan of Europe
Europe
yesterday
wearing a
was
maroon.
good.
Yeah, it made sense for Europe yesterday.
Today is
They're
bad.
wearing like maroon.
They're
It's
wearing
like
brown. It looks like.
yeah, it's like so dark. I'm like, dude, it doesn't really fit your
vibe.
By the way, I did have this discussion yesterday with some people, and this might be one of the last points because I do want to get your guys' input on this. Should players who are from the UK, since they are no longer in the EU, and Team Europe uses the EU flag, therefore symbolizing that it is EU, should they be allowed to play for Europe when they're not technically in the European Union any longer? And also mention, most of these European players live in the United States full time.
I think
it's more about nationality.
Yeah,
but then let's stay away from the living in the U.S. What about just the fact that the UK is no longer in the EU, and they use an EU flag?
Which one do you think they should be? You think it should be U.S.?
They should be part of the tournament, or
Unfortunately, I posed that question and now it's gone because we'll get back to it after. But we're going to go to a quick break. After the break, we have Mark Cannizzaro going to join us. He's been at the Ryder Cup so far. Very excited to talk to him. And I'll give a little bit better and more of an intro when we get to talk to him.
You're listening to WFUV, New York.
Welcome back to another edition of WFUV's One-on-One. I'm here with Bradley Birne and Luis Andrade, and we have a special guest. Very excited to talk to this person. It is Mark Cannizzaro. He's a senior sports writer and columnist for the New York Post and currently covering the Ryder Cup. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
So we were talking about this just before you came on and how the Ryder Cup yesterday and today seems like there's completely different vibes for the fans, for the energy. Did you sense that at all? Did you feel like yesterday, after how badly the USA team was played, and especially that second round, do you think that really affected the crowd today?
You know, it's weird. I actually felt like the crowd was a little more energized at the start of the day. On the first hole, the first hole at the Ryder Cup is always pretty spectacular, especially the first day. But even today, I don't know. That I just felt like the crowd realized that the U.S. might need a boost of energy, and after what happened yesterday, because I thought it was a little muted yesterday. I mean, this is my 14th Ryder Cup I've covered, and half of them have been away matches for the U.S. And the energy on the first tee is always memorable to me, and there was so much what's the word I'm looking for? Anticipation for what this Bethpage crowd was going to be. Quite frankly, I think it's been and obviously there's a reason. Part of the reason is the U.S. hasn't played well, but this has not really been any kind of hasn't been really a rabid scene here, if you will. Even when the U.S. has been playing well, I've noticed, it's almost a little contrived. But I did think today, to start the day, I thought the crowd was a little bit better. But it certainly was taken out of things, pretty quickly the way Europe played.
Yeah, and that was definitely going to be my next question, is just seeing how the U.S. has played so far, especially some major guys like Scotty and even Bryson. Do you think that those two were paired up together for this next round. Do you think that was intentional by Keegan in order to ensure Scotty maybe had a little bit more, because he's known for being a little bit more calm, especially when he's in a major or a serious tournament. He's very calm and collected. Do you think Keegan was maybe trying to bring out a little energy from him, putting him with Bryson, or do you think that was just more putting our best foot forward for that round and for that matchup?
I think there was maybe a little bit to that. I think it was really more just the matchup and the analytics, and then, how they, Keegan thought that would be a good group, a good pairing. I think that, Bryson's going to bring the energy anyway.
Right.
Scotty's going to be himself. Nobody's going to bring the, manufactured energy out of Scotty. He's going to, he's going to have his moments. We'll have a fist pump or high fives and stuff like that, but you're not going to see him with any guttural, screams and yells and things like that. I think this was more a product of, I think Keegan's trying to light a spark here. I mean, this team's dead team walking right now.
Yeah, and I was going to say that Scotty, his fist bump is basically like someone going on top of a mountain and screaming their lungs out. That's what that is for Scotty. I do want to ask who you are looking forward to, not only in the second round today, which just started, but also the Sunday singles. I know it hasn't been declared yet, and it gets called out tonight. Who are you looking forward to, whether matchups or just who do you want to see represent the U.S. on Sunday?
Well, I mean, listen, I think we all want to see Bryson against Rory.
Oh yeah, I think everyone in the world wants that.
That's the number one. But the problem with that is that those pairings that we want to see almost never happen because it's pretty random. The captains are making them, it's like on a blind draw, if you will. So nobody knows, where Luke's going to put Rory or whomever. There may be some tells and some trends as to when Rory's been used. I believe he's been used. I want to say maybe number 3 in singles at some times. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong on that. But listen, I'm this afternoon. I'm actually quite interested in that Bryce Scheffler pairing. They're playing 2 stalwarts for Europe. Fleetwood and Rose. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing that. I'm also looking forward to seeing how Cam Young keeps playing. Because Cam Young, who's as you guys know, is from Westchester, right around the corner from where your studio is right now. And he's been the star this week for the U.S. He's 2-0, and he's just it's a beautiful story. I mean, this is a guy who won the New York State Open here in 2017 as an amateur. Shot the course record, 64 in the final round. His mother, I did a huge piece on him for the Post on that came out on Monday's paper. It's his dad taught him to play golf, Sleepy Hollow Country Club up in Westchester, and his mother used to caddy for his dad at competitions. His mother told me before this tournament she's caddied around here more than 100 times, for whether between her husband and Cam. So it's what an amazing story that this guy in his backyard that was playing his first Ryder Cup, and oh, by the way, he should have been chosen 2 years ago, wasn't. He was in good enough form, and he was 9th on the points list, and was left behind when the U.S. went to Rome. What an amazing story! It's a magical story. I mean, the guy's he's playing. He won 6 and 5 yesterday. Won his match today. So I'm really looking forward to seeing. I'd love to see him go undefeated. Love to see him win this afternoon and then go win a singles match. I'm a little bit surprised. I really thought Ben Griffin was going to be, to me, it hasn't really, it's like one of those tweets that didn't age well. I made a lot of predictions that Ben was going to be a rock star in this thing, and he's actually not even playing at all today. They didn't play him in the morning, and Keegan decided not to play him this afternoon. So, and he didn't play that badly yesterday, I didn't think, but, Keegan just trying to, now he's just scrambling to try to get some groups together that are going to win some points.
Hey, Mark. This is Luis Andrade talking. One thing about Cam Young, being a Westchester guy myself, it's great to see him represent us, but also he went to Fordham Prep, where I went to school as well. And when we were going, my high school days, we would always talk about him, especially when he was in his tournaments, especially more now. I'm talking with my high school buddies about, like, wow, he's really representing us. He's really, showing Fordham Prep and Westchester the combination there, and it's really good to see. And then you bring up his story, and it's just like a wonderful story overall.
He's it's funny. Cam goes unnoticed a lot because he's a very, very introverted guy, not demonstrative at all. So he's not he doesn't really project himself as a star in any way. But and he's been playing incredibly good golf for about 2.5 years now. And he's had a couple runners up in major championships. He's been right there. But amazingly, I think he had 7 runner-ups in PGA Tour events without winning, which I think was the most. And I don't. There's a statistic there that it's not right at the tip of my tongue, but it's the most of any player in years. And he finally broke through and won the Wyndham Championship in August, and that was his first PGA Tour win, which was massive because it was a long time coming. He deserved it, and also cemented his place on this team. And to see him go out and do what he's doing right now is like I said, it's kind of storybook. It really is. I mean, they announced this tournament was going to, this Ryder Cup was going to be a Bethpage in 2013. In 2014, the next year, Cam was playing on the junior Ryder Cup team, and the matches were in Scotland where he helped the U.S. win. And his mother told me they were on the plane with the family. They were flying back from Scotland, and he was talking about Bethpage and the Ryder Cup in 2025. And this is think about that. This is 2014. It's 11 years ago. And he told his parents he was going to be on this team. He was going to play on this Ryder Cup team at Bethpage. And here he is, not only having made the team and realizing his dream and playing on the team, but he's the best U.S. player as we sit here right now. The only negative is obviously the team's getting boat raced right now. So his personal success is not turning into team success.
But yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, especially because I really wanted to ask you about him, especially given that, I feel like the United States every year you have the big hitters, you have the guys who you're expecting to do well, and he's someone who, if he did great, like it was going to be awesome for the team, and if he didn't, the team, like no one was going to really talk about it. So I think that the fact that he's doing so good right now is not only, I think while they're down 5 points at the moment, it's almost motivation for the rest of the team, right? And I think you're nailing that right on the head by, like, when a player like that is doing as good as he's doing, a player who's so rooted in this community and in New York, and also someone who was maybe overlooked for a majority of his career, doing this not only proves why he is on the team, but also proves like what the U.S. has to offer. Like, if he can do this, why can't Scheffler? Why can't Bryson? Why can't Spahn? Why can't all these guys do this? But I did want to shift quickly from the Ryder Cup because we know you have some time with the Jets and reporting for the Jets. I kind of wanted to ask you, looking at where the season is now, especially with Justin Fields, do you think the Jets fans and the Jets front office can still be hopeful for this year, or do you think it needs to just shift to almost a Giants aspect where they're looking to the next year?
When you're 0-3, the percentages of getting to the playoffs are very scant. The numbers are out there. So it's unrealistic to think this team's get to the playoffs. I mean, even though it had a chance and was in position to win 2 of those 3 games that they lost. They're in a different position than the Giants because, Justin Fields is not their quarterback of the future. He's a stopgap quarterback. And the Giants, at least at the moment, have got some hope, now that they're going to start Dart, that maybe we see the guy that's going to be their quarterback for the next 10 years, the way Eli was, Manning. So the Jets, I really like Aaron Glenn. I covered his entire career as a player. I've respected where he's come from since his playing days. He started at the absolute lowest rung on the ladder in terms of being, he started as a scout, worked his way up, position coach, defensive coordinator, and here he is as a head coach. I like everything about his message and the way he's conducted himself. And he's no nonsense. He learned from the best, which is Bill Parcells. I'll never cover a better head coach than Parcells was in his day. I think you just need and it's hard to ask this of the Jets fan because it's hard to ask for patience when it's been we're talking about a long time since they did anything. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2011. 2010 season. I'm sorry. So it's hard to ask for patience from fans that have been disappointed year after year. But the problem is it really is kind of what you need, because this is Glenn's team. He's putting a stamp on it. They have some talent. Should they be? They shouldn't be 0-3 right now. They should have at least won one of those two games. They had a chance to win. But at this point, you just hope. If you're a Jet fan, you just hope they're somewhat relevant come the start of December. Whether it's getting back in and around 500 or something. You want hope, and the Jets have really been hopeless for too long now. So I don't think it's realistic to think about a playoff season, and I'm not sure if it was realistic even before they played a game. But now, certainly at 0-3, with the percentages being what they are, you can't. It's unrealistic to think about the playoffs. You want to hope and see. This defense needs to play better. To me, if I'm a Jet fan, I'm most disappointed with what's happened with the defense this year. Steve Wilkes is the new defensive coordinator. I don't like what I've seen out of that. These guys have been giving up, way too much in the secondary. Their pass rush has not been as stout as we all thought it was going to be. So that's a huge disappointment for me. Really, is the biggest disappointment is defense.
Hey, Mark, Bradley Birne here from WFUV. I just had a quick question. You kind of touched on it with the whole quarterback and defense thing. Going into the draft, do you think the quarterback hole is a bigger issue, or do you think it's solving all those problems at defense? Like, what's your take on what the Jets should do? Obviously, because they're not going to be in the playoff picture. So what's your opinion on what the Jets should do going into the draft? Do you think they should use their first-round pick maybe on like a Drew Aller or the LSU quarterback, or do you think they should address the holes at defense first? What's your take on it?
I think really that all depends on where they're picking. If they're picking very, very high, top 5, whatever the number is, then without question you got to go for a quarterback. It's hard to do that if you're, and get, the LSU kid, or, name your top, because as you know, in these drafts, the stock rises for all these quarterbacks, and more often than not, they're not as good as everybody thinks they're going to be. The LSU kid looks pretty good to me, but I'm no expert on quarterback play, and it's certainly the jumps from college to pro. I would say just look, just throwing a number out right now. If they have a top 5 or 6 pick, I think they got to go for a quarterback. If they end up getting themselves up in the 7 or 8 win range, they're going to be picking somewhere in the teens, and it's a lot harder to get that quarterback. And that said, listen, if they end up winning somehow 8 or 9 games, I'm just throwing some numbers out there, then that probably means Justin Fields has played pretty well. So you can get away with playing him for another year, and so who knows how this is all going to unfold. We never do. Is he going to stay healthy? Obviously, he's already now missed, last week with a concussion. So I think, the short answer to my long gas bag right there is if they're picking high enough, I think you have to go for a quarterback.
No, it's definitely true. And before we let you go, I did have one quick question to ask you. I know you've been covering sports reporting for many years now. What's the craziest sports moment that you've seen in person and that you've reported on?
Wow, that's a loaded question. There's a lot of them. Weirdly, the one thing comes to mind. Years ago, the Jets had an offensive lineman named Carlton Hasselrig. Rich Kotite was the coach of the team, and as you know, the two Kotite years were pretty calamitous. And Hasselrig was missing for like a week and a half. Nobody could find him. He didn't show up at a game. The team didn't know where he was. I happen to be friendly with a guy named Donald Evans, who was a defensive lineman on the team. Who happened to be he was very close with Carlton. And Carlton was a sweetheart of a guy, but he had some substance abuse issues and whatnot. And he just kind of, I guess, went on a bender and just disappeared. So because I was close with his friend, Donald Evans, I was in contact with Donald. And Donald didn't know where he was, but Donald talked about it. Donald knew Carlton's wife, put me in touch with Carlton's wife. I actually had some idea about where Carlton was when the Jets team didn't even know. And I spoke to his wife, who was pleading for him to come home. I mean, it I mean, pretty much, that the answer to that question could be pretty much all 2 years of Rich Kotite's coaching. Yeah, when he was head coach. But I don't know why that just popped into my head. Like, I mean, in terms of like, things on the field, when I was covering the 1999 British Open, that was when John Van de Velde just completely melted down in the end and lost that British Open at Carnoustie, and that was, that I don't know, that to me was one of my most memorable moments covering golf, as was Greg Norman, throwing the 1996 Masters away. About three of them. I've covered a lot of very wacky things, but those were, I don't know, the Hasselrig thing just came up as really bizarre because, here I was like speaking to the guy's wife, and the team wasn't even speaking to his wife, and Steve Gutman was the Jets president at the time, and was just not very good at his job, and he was clueless. I mean, it was a mess. I mean, it was just showed how calamitous the organization was. But yeah, I would say that was probably the weirdest story I've covered.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Mark, for joining us today. Again, that's Mark Cannizzaro. He is the senior sports writer and columnist for the New York Post and a very good friend to the station. Thank you so much for joining us. And, I mean, hopefully, let's hope for that USA team. Let's hope they turn it around.
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys. Let's hope that tomorrow is relevant.
Let's pray.
Yeah.
I think we need more than hope. And so that was Mark Cannizzaro, great friend of the studio. Always willing to hop on with us, and we really appreciate him and the time he spends talking to us. That story was kind of crazy.
It was a wild story.
And going off the Jets, we're going to keep talking about the Jets and their struggles right now because, like he said, they realistically could have won 2 games there.
They could.
Out of their 3, they could have won 2. And Kurt's moving.
Kurt's out and about.
Kurt's active, right? I want everyone on the YouTube.
Kurt, you're making me nervous.
On the YouTube and on the radio tonight to know that Kurt
Are
is
we
moving
going to
always.
Jets?
We're talking about Jets
We're
right
talking
now.
about the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm just
You are
moving.
talking about the Jets.
You're
just making me
excited.
nervous.
grooving.
Like, you're making me very nervous. I don't like when
he's
these
like
move
he's
around.
like
Very
yeah,
up
it's
and
like
active producer.
because it's not calm. It's like quick turn and
Everything's
straight to
everywhere.
something.
He's jittery.
Straight
He's
to something.
paranoid. What's going on?
You know?
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, talking about the Jets, Mark doesn't seem he feels like the season's over, and I feel like if anyone's gonna know, it's gonna be Mark. But Bradley, what do you have to say about it?
I first off, Bear, if you're watching, I do owe you an apology. I did say that the Jets would finish with a close to 500 record, and
It's still possible.
it's not looking that way.
I think Barrett
'Cause
is fully
Barrett's
watching
probably-
the Ryder Cup right now.
But I just don't think the Jets are. I'll just put it blunt: the Jets aren't good. It's just
They're not.
I'm looking at the remainder of their schedule, and
Actually, I'm gonna step on your toes here. I think they're mid. Like Mark mentioned, they could have won 2 of the games against the was the Buccaneers. In the first game, it was against the Steelers.
Steelers in the first game. Yeah.
Yeah, both those games are completely winnable, and it was not more of a lack of skill, which is bad luck, and it didn't go their way. And I think they're a solid 500 team. That's not gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna.
They're
be a
not
solid
finishing
team.
500.
I feel like they will. If
No,
they turn things around.
We'll
now,
go through their schedule right now.
their
They're
schedule.
not-
I don't know their schedule there.
So they play the Dolphins.
They could be the
uh,
Dolphins. They could be the Dolphins.
They'll be the Dolphins. Then they play the Cowboys. That's a loss. Broncos is a loss.
That guy, I think they can beat. They can beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys been playing horrible, and CeeDee Lamb is injured.
That's true. If CeeDee Lamb's playing, then I'd probably give it to the Cowboys, just because I don't think they're going to be able to stop CeeDee.
Yeah.
And then obviously Broncos are going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Panthers. That can go either way.
Either way, Bryce Young's been playing great.
He's been playing good. I got to give Bryce some credit again. Bengals, they're not winning against the Bengals.
Wait. Have you seen the Bengals play so far this season?
It's-
They're 0-3 as well.
They're 2-1.
Not only they're down Joe Burrow, but they're also
yeah, but
like
turf toe.
that
Imagine
was
having a
Wait, I
season-ending
feel like-
injury and
I
it's
feel like
turf toe.
as long as you have
Yeah, it was
Jamar
bad, though, like,
Chase.
Oh, yeah,
all the
it's
way.
definitely. But like,
I think as long as
still,
you have
it's.
Jamar Chase.
By the way, like,
I'll give it that. You can give it to the Jets. The Jets will probably that'll be the one game.
The Bengals they got smacked by the Vikings this last week.
That'll be the one game where the Jets score 40 points and just
Just demolish. I feel like
demolished. That'll be that one game. And then,
I would take Jets money line on that game.
and then Browns. That's probably
that's a
one-
toss up. That's a toss
Browns
up.
is
toss-up.
a touchy subject for me personally.
I think
You're a Browns fan.
I'm a Packers fan.
Oh.
You should be very excited.
I'm gonna be
we'll get
honest.
to
The
general
Browns are
info.
my secondary team.
Yeah,
That's
can we get
secondary.
Kurt
What
out
does
of
that
here?
mean?
Can we get
Well,
Kurt out
I
of
In
the
the
don't
studio?
actually
NFL,
like-
how do you have a
I don't
secondary?
actually
Bobby
like
back
root-
there?
I
I
don't
want to talk to
actually
Bobby.
The one team with no
I
logo.
don't actually like root for the Browns, but like so the storyline goes. I used to watch football. I used to go to Long Island a lot. Like we used to go to Long Island a lot, family events. Got a lot of family out in Long Island.
Same.
Shout out to Long Island.
No, we
Yes,
don't
sir.
shout out Long Island.
LIU.
No,
We will not shout out
LIU.
Long Island.
From no, Shallow Island.
No, we
especially
don't
Nassau
shout out Long
County.
Island. The Strong Island is not so strong. Whatever. So I used to watch football with my cousin's husband. He's a Browns fan from Ohio.
Yes.
So I used to watch the Giants, and then right after the Giants, for some reason the Browns had a lot of afternoon games back in the day, like after the 1 o'clock slate, or when the Giants were good, they had the night games. So after the 1 o'clock slate, I used to watch the Browns. I used to be really in tune with the Browns. So I
I'm
also think the
sorry.
Browns have really cool jerseys.
They do.
The brown
that's true.
jersey is actually
the
I like
really
it.
brown
nice.
orange
The
is
brown
The
and
white one
orange
too
is
is very
sick.
clean.
They also don't
All
have a
white.
logo. They're only NFL team.
No,
I
it's
think the
the-
brown
it's
helmet was
it's
cool.
the
just-
bulldog and
It's
that little elf.
is it brown or orange? I don't even
No,
know.
no, no. They have an orange helmet usually, but they wore a brown helmet the other day, which is
It was
very
like all
funny
brown.
because people were like,
They look
"How does a team whose logo's a orange helmet wear a brown helmet?" And I was like, "Cause it's cool." But
They're being different, I guess.
yeah,
I like it though. I like it.
we're talking way too much about the Browns right now.
Why not? The Browns are great.
But yeah, I mean, Jets. I think everyone is in lockstep when it comes to their season practically being over. I agree. I think we saw a glimpse of how good Justin Fields can truly be. I don't think it was ever him. Now that I
still
look at
think
it,
Fields' has potential. I think
it's almost proving that it's the Bears. It's the Bears system.
It
I
was.
mean, granted, it's about how many quarterbacks have they had? In the time that Aaron Rodgers was quarterback from the beginning of the Packers to the end of Packers,
I think it
how
was
many times did they change
10.
quarterbacks?
I think it was 10 times.
10 times. Like that's
Maybe
crazy.
even more.
I still think that Justin Fields
Historically,
should
they
still
have
be on the
horrible
Bears. I think the
quarterbacks.
Bears should have taken Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Justin Fields should still be on the Bears. I think that,
I don't.
I value versatile quarterbacks very high. Like obviously Justin Fields is
Well,
rushing
Caleb Williams
ability.
is kind of versatile as well. You could say
Well, Justin Fields is
way
He
more.
is the
He is-
face of Chicago sports at the moment.
That's not saying much, right? As a Bulls fan, that's not saying much.
maybe it's,
It's
Kobe.
actually-
Maybe it'll be
no, it's
Kobe White.
genuine- like,
Kobe
being
White? What
genuinely
do you mean,
honest,
Josh Giddey?
I don't know if you want him being the face of
Josh Giddey is
franchise.
Kurt just gave me a
known
stare
good
from the
guy.
studio.
By Josh Giddey is a known good guy.
The dead
But yeah, I think it's genuinely Caleb Williams. We're getting so all over the place. Honestly, we might just have to like say we're just doing two general NFL sections at this point.
We're just
Just
Josh
talking about
Giddey.
everything. But no, Caleb Williams, and honestly, like since they got rid of everyone on the Bulls, I guess you have P. Crow Armstrong. I guess.
Or Kyle well, it won't be Kyle Tucker this
P.
winter.
Crow Armstrong.
PCA.
I hate PCA.
Waiter. Please more PCA slander.
But anyways, I mean, let's. I think we've exhausted all the Jets talk because I honestly think the Giants talk is
It's
a
gonna
lot
be
more interesting.
And
And here's how I'm gonna start it. Me and Barrett said this 3 weeks ago. The moment the Giants start Jackson Dart, before week 10, they have not only failed this season, but they have failed Jackson Dart. I know everyone's super excited.
I'm not excited.
He does not need to be playing, especially if your team's not playing great. He does not need to be. He needs to be learning from the two veteran quarterbacks that he has in his QB room. Russell Wilson may not be the quarterback he used to be on like physically, right? Like he may not have the arm or anything. He's still mentally the quarterback he used to be, which was one of the best quarterbacks in the league,
he was.
if not the best quarterback in the league at some point in time. He needs to be learning from him, and I don't think he learns from him when he's getting sacked 4 to 10 times a game.
I remember I was on the one.
You don't want a rookie getting sacked that many times. It
Yeah.
does something to him.
I remember I was on one with Barrett 2 weeks ago.
Beat him into it.
Yeah, it's like
Barrett was a big advocate for Jackson Dart sitting the whole year, and then starting him, which I don't agree with. I think
Yeah, I think you should throw him in there, to be honest.
yeah. Well,
But I don't like the way they've been doing it. You see, like Brian Dable, I'm starting to question him a
Brian
lot.
Dable is throwing Jackson Dart.
Starting
into
He just
the
throws him in
fire.
for like 1 or 2 plays on a.
they're
And the run
playing
plays.
they're playing him like they played Arch Manning last year with Ewers, where they would like
Yeah.
they're like, all right, here's an option play. We're gonna throw Arch in there because he's a little bit faster, and then they would end up just having Arch run it down the middle.
Yeah.
Like they're doing the same
But see,
thing.
the thing, it would work for Texas.
It works
but
for college football. It doesn't work when you're
no,
like
he just gets sacked or he just gets leveled.
because like think about the biggest guys you see in the SEC, right? Think about those guys times 2, and then put them on the defensive line. That's who Jackson Dart's facing.
It's just throwing Jackson Dart to the fire. I'll just read out the schedule real quick. They got who do they have? Oh, they have the Chargers.
That's gonna be bad.
Tomorrow
That's
at
gonna be
1
bad.
o'clock. He might get sacked 10 times. The Saints, he shouldn't get
That
sacked.
should be a close game if he plays well, but also like
Jackson Dart playing
I
well.
don't think they win.
He'll live. He'll live.
You
That's
don't
all
think
that
he's gonna
matters.
play well?
Against the
I don't
Chargers
think
defense?
No,
Absolutely
not Chargers. I'm talking about Saints.
Oh, Saints, yeah, he'll play well. I'm talking
Okay,
about
yeah.
the Chargers.
Oh
And
no,
then-
his Chargers is
got-
gonna be a rude awakening.
Then he's
for him.
got the Eagles, Broncos, then the Eagles again.
Eagles, Broncos, Eagles. Okay, yeah.
That's just
not too bad.
what do you mean not too bad? He
It's just,
Winnable.
It's just unfair. It's just unfair.
he might break the
There's
record.
no reason for him to be playing right now.
It's
There's
actually
not.
like legitimately the issue I have with it more than anything is they're gonna Daniel Jones him.
That's
No.
what
They're
I'm saying.
legitimately.
He's gonna-
Daniel-
he's
they're
gonna go to the
I don't want to
He's
hear
They're
that name,
going
Kurt.
to.
I don't want to hear
He's
that.
I
gonna
love
not
Daniel
even-
Jones.
I-
Daniel Jones is my king, and
I don't
Daniel
wanna hear
Jones
that
is
name.
3-0. Daniel Jones is 3-0, and we
He's
got
not
rid of
the
Daniel
king.
Jones.
I'd rather have Saquon than Daniel Jones.
We don't have either. We don't have either.
We
That's
don't
it.
have either of
Which
them.
is- I think
Bradley,
Joe-
Bradley, Saquon's gone. Daniel
Saquon's
Jones
gone.
is gone.
I'll
Soon
forever
make
enough,
me cry,
soon enough, the
Kurt,
head
stop.
coach is gonna be gone.
I'll
Then
forever like
it's
Saquon.
over.
Like think about. I mean, I am obviously always going to use the Packers as an example, but like think about the Packers, right? Like
Great team, by the way.
don't even want to talk about them yet.
What do you mean?
But
Whoa, we'll get
I
to
got
that
a little
later.
whisper. The whisper was great. That shows my disappointment. But no, the Packers, Jordan Love, right? The reason Jordan Love was as successful as he was when he first, or when he just like finally had the team for himself and he was starting, is because he learned from Aaron Rodgers for a year, 2 years. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, oh, like we're gonna throw him into the fire. No, it was the reason we're drafting him is we know Aaron Rodgers is gonna leave because Aaron Rodgers wants to complete his Brett Favre gauntlet,
Yeah, that's
his,
not. it did
his
not
Brett
go well.
Favre freaking Infinity Stones. But besides that, he learned because he was behind the quarterback who won the MVP when Love was on the bench, and 2 took the Packers far into the playoffs when he was on the bench. Like he learned from them. And
He did.
and you have 2 quarterbacks who, by the way, look at the game completely different ways. Russell Wilson looks at it this way. My Lord and Savior, Winston, looks at it another way. Jameis Winston, if he doesn't get his own podcast,
I might get a Jameis Winston
like,
Giants jersey.
I might. He's not even going to play a snap.
He's not.
I might get
He
a
should play
Jameis
How long's
Winston.
his
I really want a
contract?
Jameis Winston.
I
Giants
wanted him
jersey.
to play
Bradley, I know you know his contract. How long is it?
Oh, I
half
Look
a
it up.
season.
Fact
No,
check.
no,
Fact
he's-
check Bradley.
He's there for the long haul.
Yeah,
He's there
I
for
like
2
it.
years.
That's not. I mean, he's pretty old.
That's
he
he's
might
old.
retire
and
with
he's
us.
and he's practically already like dipped his foot
he
in
signed
like,
a
being a broadcaster and stuff. Like he did that with the
Imagine
college
Jameis-
football last
Jameis
year.
as a
Yeah, he
broadcaster.
did the Super Bowl thing.
in
yeah,
New
and-
Orleans. He
yeah,
did
that
all
was
like
really
the stuff
funny.
in New Orleans.
He did his eating the dubs. Eating
Dude,
the
he's
dubs.
so awesome.
2 years, $8 million.
I know he does it.
Have you seen his Roback
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
God, dude, that makes me want to get.
And again,
I don't even like any of the teams that are on that and like that the Roback has for. I want to get one because he
I
was
just think
like,
he's
it looks.
awesome.
He's so awesome.
I think he would be.
That's a known good guy in the real note.
known good guy, and also another
Known
call
great
out to
guy.
Jameis if you want to come on FUV anytime.
Jameis,
He
please.
would, too.
Anytime. I know. I've been trying to tell Bobby we need to get him on.
He would
Dude, I would
immediately-
love that.
Jameis.
I would- Kurt, if that happens, you need me. Please get me in that room.
I need to be in.
Did
that
you
room,
see?
too.
Did you see the video of the guy got him to sign oregano?
Yes.
And
I
he was
love
like,
oregano.
I see your filming. You're not slick. He's like, I wasn't trying to hide it. He's like, do you ever put oregano on anything? Just like, what?
Just having
I
a
was
He's
like,
like, do you ever
conversation.
put oregano? And
And
he was
then-
like, yeah, I like it. He's like, I love oregano. It's like, all right,
My
Jameis.
favorite with Jameis. My favorite with Jameis was it was a little kid getting something signed. The little kid did not want to speak because Jameis Winston is awesome, of course. So I wouldn't
Is
speak either. It's just
shunned.
very hard.
Or, no,
And
stunned, not
Jameis was
shunned.
like, "I want yo autograph," and I was like, "Man, that's so awesome."
Did you see his
He's
dance?
such a good guy.
I don't know, like, Joe might get mad at me for dancing in the studio real quick. I don't know if the camera can see me. But his dance when he had
Hold
the
on, we are gonna
marching
make
band,
the camera see you.
when he had the marching band.
One thing I want to say while Kurt's setting up the camera is that my favorite moment of Jameis on the Giants so far is him with Jackson Dart during the preseason. Jackson makes the W with his hand, and Jameis just goes out and bites it. Pretends to bite it, and there's been AI edits of it, Jameis actually biting his hand, and it's so funny. I love it. Kurt, is the I don't know.
You said
Yeah,
the
go,
camera?
go do your dance.
If you have it up, Kurt. All right, perfect. This is his dance. This is his dance.
Joe's gonna see you.
Joe's gonna see me, but that's fine. He goes like this, and he moves so well. The people who are on the radio can't see me doing this, but he moves.
He's a future Dancing with the Stars
so
legend.
good.
He is.
So good. I mean, like, okay, yeah.
Jameis Winston might be.
Yeah.
That's how he does it, and it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
That's gotta
and,
be the
and,
future
and,
segment.
and the best part is W's are always out. As Drake would say, W's are in the shit. But W's are always out with him, no matter how many games he's won in his career. I don't know if he has a winning record in his career.
He's
but
also the only player in NFL history to have a 30 touchdown, 30 interception.
I mean,
season,
I think him
I love
leaving
Jameis.
New Orleans was, I mean, he belonged to be in New Orleans. He was so happy in New Orleans. Did you see him he also did a jazz performance. This is how bad the Giants season is going so far. Is that a Giants section? We're talking about Jameis Winston and his
that's not bad.
extracurricular activities
He should be a Hall of
around New
Famer.
Orleans.
He's my favorite quarterback. I think he should be starting.
Dude, his jazz performance is unbelievable.
He's just so wholesome.
He is.
What's not to like about
Dude,
Jameis?
My favorite Jameis is Brown's Jameis. Like you said, the Lord has blessed me.
He's like, where's the pain? He's like, everywhere. Everywhere's pain. It's like, all right. He's awesome.
He is.
Gosh.
That sums up the
Gosh,
Giants,
honestly,
pretty much.
we have about 30 more minutes in this show. We're just gonna
Jameis
talk about
section.
Jameis Winston.
We just brought you a W
Yeah,
at home. This is the first of
Jameis.
many. I know it's just preseason, but we are grateful that y'all came out and support, baby. So eat some W's with me. Go Big Blue. Yes.
I don't even know what that last part was.
I love his
What was that
enthusiasm.
last part?
Go
did he hit him with a boom? What was that?
3 big booms.
Jameis gets 5 big boom.
Wait, I think he did a video with them. Did he?
Dude, he probably did. He's everywhere.
He's for sure.
Honestly, I've seen more videos of him not playing football than I have of him playing football, and I still want him to be the main quarterback for the Giants.
I actually have a real point with that. Like, I legitimately do think that Jameis should be the starting quarterback.
He
for the
should.
Giants.
No,
Jackson
okay,
should-
yeah. These
No,
were all
this is
jokes
like-
so far, but
no,
he
like,
should be
that's
the
like
starting
a-
quarterback.
Malik
being-
Neighbors would break
I'm not
every
joking
receiving
about that.
statistic.
You just need a solid quarterback and not like. I
He's
mean, I
not-
feel like he should be.
People think he's a meme. He's not a joke.
He's very good.
He's a
He
good
won a
backup.
Heisman.
Good.
He won the Heisman.
He's amazing.
He's actually.
That's why it's so awesome that he's also just a great person. Is
But,
that
like-
he's also great at football.
But like, this is my point. Having him rot on the bench makes no sense to me, because if I'm Jameis Winston in the beginning of the season, I saw what they did, like drafting, and then Russ being number 1. Of course, Russ is number 1, whatever. But if I'm seeing that, I'm saying to myself, I should request a trade out of here, because this doesn't really make me feel good that we are currently building a quarterback room where I have no chance to play. And I think my issue with it is, I think Jameis has a bigger upside than Russ ever had.
Yeah.
One, not ever, but now he has a bigger upside than Russ. He's more athletic than Russ right now. He has a better arm than Russ right now, I feel like. I mean, Russ's moonball is still there, but
he
the
can also motivate
interceptions-
a team much better than Russ can.
The
right
pregame
now.
speeches last year with the Browns.
Yeah.
Last year, the snow game, all that. I understand, like, he's a meme. He has sound bites and whatever, but, like,
He's a guy.
he's just
His teammates
that
love him.
good.
I
though.
wanna-
Great
You need a
fucking
quarterback
presence.
where you're, especially at where the Giants are right now. You need a quarterback where your team, not just your wide receivers, not just your own line, your team.
He will amp
loves
up
you.
the whole team. He
Yeah.
can be Brian Dable if he loses the locker room. Jameis Winston is a guy that can help you get it back.
Yeah.
Also, I did realize I did the dance wrong. It's more of just a clear walk, not a stutter walk. It's more of just a
All
straight
good.
walk. But
We'll cut that for TikTok later.
Does Jameis Winston
same
have any
clips.
trade value though? You talk about trade.
No, I wouldn't trade. No, the thing with Russ though,
'cause I
is
think. Do you think he does?
I don't think he has any.
I
trade
think
value.
he has trade value to the Bengals right now, if anyone.
Ooh, yeah,
Any
you're
team
right.
that has an injured quarterback right now would
I
want
think the
Jameis
Bengals
Winston.
should want
only
because the
Bengals,
Bengals were working, or they were looking at Malik Willis from the Packers, and
Yes.
the Packers aren't getting rid of him.
But that my
So-
point
Maybe
being,
Jameis Winston on the
Jameis is
Jets?
the guy for that for a team that might need a new quarterback, because Jameis is not just like we'll put him in. Well, he's not like he's not bad. Is
He's
the
not a
thing. He can
fill-in.
win
He's
you
not a
games.
fill-in. He can actually win games.
I think
agree.
he can mess around and get a
And
starting
him
job in
bouncing
the NFL
around
still.
isn't his fault. It's more these teams are not good in the first place.
So they're not using
Yeah.
him correct.
So
I
then
think the Giants
so
could
then
be
they're
good
like,
with
oh,
him.
we get to draft a new quarterback. Why would we keep
Jameis
our
Winston.
our old quarterback?
The Giants can do well with Jameis Winston. I'm legitimately like
I
not
agree with
even
that
joking
I think
about that.
I even said this with Barrett when we were talking about it. Like, I say this with Barrett almost once a week. Jackson Dart 1 obviously shouldn't start till week 10. Like, I think a lot of people, if you realistically look at it, if you take away the hype of this new quarterback you just drafted. No reason to play him when you're already 0-3. Might as well let him learn. Let him learn. He's not gonna get worse. He's not gonna get worse being on the bench. He'll get worse if you put him in the game.
Especially against the
promise you
Chargers.
that.
Yeah.
But Jameis Winston, why even go get this guy? Why even go out and get him? If you knew you were, by the way, they got him and Russ, which was like,
I think
knowing they were gonna draft a quarterback in the first round. They did all that, and they were like, all right, well, we're just going to let this guy
they cut Tommy, too.
sit down. Yeah, I mean,
Tommy Cutlets.
I didn't like the Tommy
Tommy.
cut. That was like, he was a locker room guy. He was a good presence.
I'm sure the
he also
team
has a great progressive commercial.
I'm sure the Giants could finish
State Farm or
0-17,
whatever it is. I don't know
but
what it
because of Jameis Winston, like their locker room morale is just going to be through the roof. Like they
It
could
is.
literally like get blown out every single game.
The thing is, they're just not using that to their advantage, and it's disappointing
The Giants
to see a
can make the
player
calls
like
to
that,
Jameis.
like especially sign a 2-year contract.
$8 million, and there's up to 16.
You're basically just paying a dude to. I think he's doing a good job with Jackson Dart. I think he's probably
He's
helping
teaching
Jackson
him,
Dart a
yeah.
lot. Especially you look on the sideline; those two are
Inseparable. You always see them
inseparable.
together.
They're together, and I think he's keeping Jackson Dart calm. I think he'll keep Jackson Dart calm, especially when he starts this week, because of his energy and like the relationship they seem to have. I mean, who knows? It could be for the cameras, but that's just anything, right?
Yeah.
But I think any relation, like he keeps him calm, and I think that's maybe why they wanted him. Is they're like, all right, like we're gonna try out and win games with Russ. If it doesn't work, we're gonna do this rookie guy, whoever we end up drafting, and then we're gonna have Jameis to kind of keep him in that good mentality. But I think that's still just wasting not only Jameis's talent, but your money if you're just gonna do that.
I just don't think Jackson Dart should be on this roster to begin with. I don't know
100%
what the
agree.
Giants were doing.
Like he should be. You
What?
think he shouldn't have gotten?
I don't think he should have got drafted. Trading up, first of all, was
Okay.
ridiculous.
Who did you want?
Not a quarterback. I think we should have waited it out. We should have drafted someone else, especially since you're just throwing him in there for the sake of throwing him in there, and we gave up so much to get him.
I mean, Jameis and Russ is a pretty solid.
And we would have Tommy would have been the Jackson Dart if he wasn't there. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's
but
time to give up.
But Tommy V also doesn't even make his bed in the morning, make his own breakfast. So
it's
I don't know
time
if
to
he could be a
get-
competent quarterback.
It's time to get over Tommy.
I never get over it. That broke my heart.
I'm not really the biggest fan of Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito's a clown.
I think his
Yeah.
I think his
Actual clown.
I like his
everything
agent more
about
than
him.
him.
No, I don't like his agent either. Also a
No,
clown.
It was
his
like,
agent
a
is a clown.
media stunt for
his
a team that
agent's
wasn't
his
playing
agent's
well.
outfits.
I'm gonna be
on
so.
fire.
Because by the way, he had like 2 good games, and then after that, he got smacked.
He did.
Yeah, because everyone saw his tape, and then they just figured out how to beat him.
Where did
He's
he
not
even go to college?
He
I
was
have no
never
clue.
legit. Like I don't know why anyone thought like.
He was not legit.
The
It-
narrative of anything him being a New York guy or whatever. It's
went to
ridiculous.
Illinois.
Oh,
It was
that's
the.
ridiculous.
It was
Oh,
just.
that's
It was.
ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. The power of narratives.
Like the same guy who
Or no, he
the
went to-
Nebraska quarterback.
he went to
Same thing is going to
Syracuse.
happen with him.
Syracuse. He's a big New
Syracuse
York
and
guy.
transferred
He's a
to
New York
Illinois.
guy through
Big-
and through. Tommy.
Yeah, if Fordham had a. Or like not even Fordham, like any New York City university had a
Going to
better
Sy-
college.
going to-
No,
going to
Fordham
Syracuse.
had Tim DeMorat, and he
Great
was basically
mustache, I've
our
heard.
great mustache.
I've heard.
Great mustache. I have a photo with us two, and we're both in a suit, and we both have a mustache. It's great.
But I'm
He
gonna
almost. I
say,
mean,
Tommy DeVito. Don't matter how many narratives you want to tell me. You can call Syracuse New York through and through. If you go to Syracuse compared to New York City, it's like going to, let's say, Spain and going to New York City. It's very different. It's basically a different country.
Yeah, it's true. I don't disagree with that. I just think that
I just think Jackson Dart was
Yeah.
a waste. Not a waste of a pick. That's very.
Yo,
harsh.
yeah, 100%.
No, not waste of a pick. That's way too harsh. He's still a great player. He had historical time.
He's
in
played
okay.
great in the
not good
in
or
the
great. He's
preseason.
okay.
I think
he's a great player, but not in the fact that I feel like we should have drafted him. I feel like we could have done more with that pick, and we gave up a lot to get to him when he could have dropped to us for all we know. But I mean, that's like we wouldn't
We could have gotten Jackson Dart in like the 4th round.
We could have,
A
but
little.
like the thing is, you should have, would have, could have. We don't know what would have happened.
But now you need to do what's best for not only him but your team, and playing him this week is not what's best. But unfortunately, that is all we can talk about today for the Jets and Giants. Giants fans, I'm sorry. Jets fans, I'm also sorry. So we're gonna go to a quick break, and then we'll be back, and we'll finish off the show with a little general NFL talk.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Carino.
And I'm Joe Henry.
Tune in weekly for NFL Friday, your exclusive WFUV sports podcast for all things National Football League.
We'll be covering everything on and off the gridiron for the biggest sports league in the world. Every week on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcast.
Can the Eagles repeat?
Will the Jets or Giants finally take a leap?
What's Shadur up to?
All of that and more on NFL Friday on WFUV Sports.
Welcome back to another WFUV one-on-one. Hope you enjoyed that music because I did. That was amazing there. And the promo. It's all about Shadur. Anyways, general NFL. This week, not a very high-stakes week in my opinion.
I have a quick one.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
From recall from Giants and Jets. Supposedly, Brian Dable met with Jackson Dart for 10 hours.
10?
10 hours going over things.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
Yeah, you know who else? You know who else met with Jackson Dart once for 10 hours?
Who?
Coach Gruden. Quarterback camp.
Quarterback camp.
Yeah.
Quarterback
What's your
camp.
hard count?
That was it. That's actually crazy though. 10 hours is wild. I mean, I guess that's a good sign. I don't really know.
I mean, what do they do for 10 hours? Just like
It's
sit
just-
down and talk about football?
Drink a little tea, sit down,
Maybe some
Yeah.
teen
watch.
crumpets?
Yeah,
And watch
Have a
more
little
film.
lunch.
they had midday tea. It was great. It was a good
Little
time.
sandwiches.
So looking at what we have coming up this week, I would say, and this isn't even a biased thing, Ravens Chiefs, it was definitely going to be a good game. And then Packers Cowboys. And I feel like that
Ooh.
is the only real games we have this week. I could be wrong.
Or maybe Eagles Buccaneers. That's a good game.
That I think actually I do agree. I think that might be a good game, especially where is it at? Is it in
Well, the Eagles
Tampa
should
Bay.
be
So Tampa Bay's actually been
great.
they've been great, but almost impossible to play at. Like their
Interesting.
field was like on field temperature was like 120.
That's
last
Tampa
week.
for you, bro.
And like they also have a storm coming through, so it's gonna get humid. It's gonna get real humid. I mean, I think that's gonna be a pretty good game.
Yeah,
actually.
you're right. Especially about the temperature. I think I read somewhere that Eagles fans Eagles players are like staying extra time in the sauna to get ready for like that. I think that
Which,
was like
by the
ridiculous.
way, that's
That's
not how it
works.
That's not how it works
Well,
at all.
and also I think the Eagles should be 2-1, especially after that crazy win at home last week.
Oh yeah,
with the blocked field goal. That should have
but granted, Packers should be 3-0.
no bias.
No bias. It was rigged. The FBI is looking at it. Just want to let everyone to know the FBI is looking at the Browns-Packers game from last week for some type of betting collusion. I think key notable moments in the game was when Golden went out of bounds, and even though he had like 10 yards that he could have gained. Also, no one was guarding anyone on that Browns D-line when they blocked that field goal. Also, I don't think that field goal was going in the first place anyways, because the Packers are notorious for – actually, they're not. Just in recent years, we haven't been able to find a kicker to save our lives. We're turning into the Bears, and hate to say that, but
Go Bears.
I do think I will say a big storyline is Micah Parsons' return to Dallas.
It's gonna be bad.
Jerry Jones says no homecoming for him. He doesn't deserve it.
I
is what he
just-
said.
I don't
Said he doesn't
understand.
deserve it.
I feel bad for
and-
Dallas fans.
And I think Dallas
I
fans
don't.
are going to give him one. I think
you're
they
right.
will.
I hate them.
I think they will give him one. But Jerry Jones said there's not going to be an official tribute of any kind for him. And
That's horrible.
And I think that's just Jerry Jones knowing that he pulled a Mavericks and traded away their best player, which he was probably going to come out at the end of the year and be like, I didn't know Micah Parsons was so important to this team. So Dallas GMs and owners, what are you doing?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the water in Dallas, but I saw this one YouTube short. I'm a YouTube Shorts guy. I don't have TikTok, but I saw
YouTube
this,
Shorts is so goated.
You just get all your news a month after it happens.
I know, but so I saw this clip of like Jerry Jones talking about how like there's some plays where I just think that Micah Parsons just isn't good, and it's just like, why is this old senile guy talking crap about arguably the best defender in the sport, and then you trade him away for a bag of chips and a half-eaten apple, and it's just
Well, they took away the Packers' future.
Well, I mean, the
There
Eagles
wasn't much of one
I mean, it was
anyways.
worth it, though.
Packers don't know how to draft anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Besides Golden.
Also, it's not like
Never
the
got to
Cowboys are
celebrate
going
that
to.
on.
It's also not like the Cowboys are going to use those 2 first-round picks for anything good anyway.
No, they'll probably trade it for like, I don't know, Shador.
Maybe a Happy Meal,
Sure.
maybe like
It's
a
all
big
about
flurry
Shador.
or something. But I really hope the Packers blow out the Cowboys. Obviously, as a Cowboys
I do too.
hater,
Yeah.
and I have
I'm
really
right with you guys.
I think the Packers are arguably the best team in football. I have a lot of high hopes for the Packers this year.
I need
They're
those
my-
conversations to stop. People started saying that, and
The
then we lost to
Packers
the
are
Browns.
good.
On paper,
I need
on
that
paper,
to stop.
The
I don't,
Packers
I
are
don't think
really
they're the best.
good.
I don't think they're the best. They're great. I think they're going to be the Super Bowl
Well, if they
contenders.
stay healthy. So Jaden Reed's hurt. He did have a successful
bad.
surgery, so I think he should be back by the end of the year.
Really with the
Collarbone. It said it was successful. He seemed super high up. He was like, successful surgery, go Pack Go. And I was like, yes.
I think I'm more high on the Packers than you are.
And
You're the
then,
Packers fan.
Well, I'm also a Packers realist. I realize what it's been happening to me since we won the Super Bowl.
Fair enough.
Which, by the way, the only jersey I have is an Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl jersey,
That's
which
nice.
is so cool, but I can't wear it. But yeah, I'm like staring right at the camera. It's not intentional. I'm trying to think. I was like making eye contact with it, going lost in space. Sorry about that, Maggie. Maggie's on the video producer right now. But yeah, I think the Packers do better when everyone doubts them. I do think if Jaden Reed somehow comes back, Watson's not coming back, even though they just re-signed him for whatever reason, and even though he hasn't played. He's about to not play for a year or 1.5 seasons. Kraft was active, but they didn't play him against the Browns because he had a knee injury or something in playoffs. Aaron Jones, I mean, as soon as you take Kraft out of the line, off the line or anything, the whole offense crumbles.
Yeah.
Because he has been, in my opinion, the best tight end in NFL this season.
Yep, that's fair.
And I think that without him, the whole team just falls apart. Last year he was just a normal tight end. I liked him. He was fine. This year he literally has opened up, especially with Golden. Golden's really good. I think Golden was probably one of probably the best draft pick I've personally watched and witnessed. I stayed up as a Packers fan. I stayed up till 5 a.m. in London trying to watch to see who the Packers had the 12th pick. It took maybe 5 hours to get to the 12th pick.
That's what's wrong with the NFL draft. Just get the pick and
Just
move
get
on.
it in and get it going. They have to do 18 minutes in between each pick. It was oh
That's
my
pretty bad.
goodness. It was up till 5 a.m. My friends were like, dude, why aren't you going to bed? I'm like, Packers haven't picked yet, dude. And they're supposed to pick someone good.
You ever talked about the
They did.
defense yet? I'm a little surprised. The defense has been really good.
Defense has been really good. I
They
was
were
about to get
slept
to
on,
that.
too.
I think obviously Micah Parsons adds a huge aspect to that, mostly because, and I wouldn't even say that his numbers are necessarily, I think they're good. I think they're not good would be just a dumb thing to say, but I think it's his presence, which has been the biggest thing for the Packers defense, because you have him on one side, you're worried about that one side.
Yeah.
You need 2 guys to block him if you're going to try and block him. That opens up the whole other side. It rushes quarterbacks. And you've seen that. You've seen that with Jaden Daniels, right? The Packers held Jaden Daniels. It was a completely different quarterback when he played him. So I think the Packers are good. But every time people, even the head coach of the Packers, he cannot be named because he's been, I miss our old guy. But I don't even, dude. That just now I'm upset.
The very
Now I'm
nonchalant
upset.
whispering.
Now I'm upset. Honestly, I just made myself upset thinking about our head coach. But he even was like, I don't like when everyone was saying undefeated. Everyone was saying we're the best team. Because it just doesn't, and you never want to be the best team. Because then when, you fall, the fall is a lot greater than if
That's
you're
true. Fair
They just
enough.
need to worry about winning the NFC North. That's all that I think
Which
they
I
are
think
worried
they will.
about.
Some
I think-
people had them going undefeated, which was kind of crazy to me.
Crazy.
Which is
Yeah.
valid.
They have to play
It's
the
not
Eagles.
valid. That is insane.
They're gonna play the Eagles eventually. They're not going undefeated.
I
Well,
don't,
in the regular
Eagles seem
season, like
shaky.
all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not all the
hopefully
way to the Super Bowl. I mean, like,
regular season. I honestly, like, I would
they
rather
can go
them.
they have a pretty easy.
they do have a very easy schedule. That's what like most
Yeah,
people.
'cause, like,
Eagles.
look-
They do play Eagles at some point.
You guys should have.
I think twice actually.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. You got the Cowboys. They should beat the Cowboys this week. You got the
They
Bengals
play the
next week.
Cardinals.
Then you got the Cardinals. Steelers. They should win out October.
Actually, I don't even know. I don't know if we. I don't think they do play the Eagles this year.
No, they do. They play
Oh, the
November
SCM.
10th.
Yeah. Okay.
They should be able to beat the. I think they could beat the Eagles.
They're gonna smack the
Packers Giants. I'm going to that game when it comes into town.
And then
It's gonna be
yeah,
super cool.
really the only
Lions though. Lions is the one. Lions have been playing good.
Destroyed the Lions in the beginning.
they held the Lions to 14 points when they were the highest scoring offense last year. So I give the Packers credit.
13 actually.
Ooh.
13 points. My
Yeah.
bad.
He knows
No.
ball.
Pretty good.
That one extra point.
I also know how to read the score sheet.
Ah.
I wasn't looking. That's my fault. I wasn't looking.
That was
you
good. I
look-
mean,
you're
you said
looking at-
14. You're only one off.
But you read it or you just like
I
got
was
off
just
the top of your
looking
head?
at it. I was
Oh
looking
yeah.
at
I was about to say no. He remembers the exact score.
It was
I don't
27-13.
remember
I
at
guess. I think they had 27 points, right?
But I would say besides Packers, Cowboys, because unfortunately it's not a Packers show. No, it should be.
Should have a
sometimes.
Packers segment just for you, Max.
Packers segment. There's really not much to talk about. They lost to the Browns.
Give me your best Midwest accent when you talk about the Packers.
Oh, I gotta think about things I say that people make fun of me for. No. Like, give me a sentence. I'll probably say something a little odd.
Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback the Packers ever had.
Well, that's just I would just say that in a normal accent.
Let's
There's
say
like
that
certain
Packer
words I say
accent.
weird, like I'm trying to think what things I there's certain things I say that are just like people are always like, why do you? But it's like everyday
Midwest
conversation.
accent from Arizona.
My dad's from Wisconsin, so I talk like him.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. That's my Midwestern. Go Pack, go. That's more Minnesota.
Go
but
Bears.
The Bears from Chicago.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Midwest accent. I don't think it's coming out right now. I wish it could. I wish I could turn it on, but it's like the little things I say, like walk. Like I don't pronounce like walk. I don't go on walks.
Oh, I
I
say
go on
walk. I say walk.
I go on
It's like New
walks.
York accent.
I go on. I like
you get
that type
classy
of
too.
thing.
It's like I say water and like bathroom. Like you know, like
Water. Water.
That was I've never heard you say water that way.
Water.
I
that
say
was-
water.
Okay, that's bad. Yeah, I say water.
People say
Bathroom?
water. No, it's water.
Water.
Like I say water.
I sound like
Is
a
it-
British actor every time he's like trying to do like an English or American accent. He's like, water. No,
I never
water.
say water.
I
say
are you? I think Kurt's searching up something for me to say right now. Is that what you're doing? Oh no, you're just
Kurt's just on his
you're
phone.
just typing on your computer.
Oh,
Typing
yeah.
away, man.
Just
I gotta
typing
let
away.
him do
He's
his
got
work.
stuff to do. Emails to send. You got to send an email to Jameis Winston. Get him on the show.
Please.
Me and
Um,
his,
we gotta
me
make
and
that
his,
happen.
PR guy are in contact right now.
Yeah, actually.
No, you got me excited. What is
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like we have a caller. It's Jameis Winston. What?
Jameis.
No,
Jameis.
Jameis, did you see my dance earlier?
James,
No, no, but I think Ravens Chiefs will be a good game. It's in Kansas City. My
has
dad,
big
my dad's
implications,
actually
too.
going to that game. He's flying into Kansas City.
Nice.
And I mean
That's
that's
big
been
playoff implications too, because they're both 1-3 right now.
1 and 2.
1-2. Sorry, 1-2.
One's gonna go 1 and 3 though.
Yeah, one of them is gonna go 1-3.
And honestly, right now, like NFL, I will say this, and as we're growing a little near to the end of our show, but so sad, but all sports have been fantastic this year, right? Like you look at the MLB, very close and everything, right? You're looking at even at the NFL right now, very close. Even like
NBA starting up soon.
NBA starting soon. It looks
College
like this
football.
teams are college football's been really good in my opinion. I mean, college football's always great. I mean, the Mercury took down Kurt's Liberty, so that's also good.
He's catching strays again. Kurt has been catching strays.
If no one
all
knows,
show.
I'm from Phoenix, so
Yeah.
Mercury. Actually went to a Mercury game this summer. It was very fun.
Nice.
They the stadium at Phoenix, every hot dog and everything is like $1.
That's
So it's
good.
like really really fun to go to because it's like you spend like $50 for a ticket or depending where you're sitting, and then you get to only spend like $8 like
Yeah.
getting food, which is like
I can't
Granted,
imagine
I don't
that
know how
here.
much money they're making off that, and I think that's
They're
why we
definitely
have to
losing
change
money.
soon. It's like a school going to like nonprofit, and then they're like, "Oh, we got to go back." Just school in Arizona has done like 4 times. Like a college, it's GCU, Grand Canyon University, has changed. Anyways, we're getting off topic, but the Eagles are playing the Buccaneers. That's going to be a good game. Ravens Chiefs going to be a good game. Packers Cowboys going to be a good game. I mean, Bills, would love to see the Bills just do well just because I love Josh Allen. And Lions-Browns, actually, I think might be a good game. And then
Is
for
Joe
all you
Flacco
Jets
starting?
fans out there, you might win a game this week. It's Jets-Dolphins.
They should.
That'll be like a 6-3 final score.
It will be a 6-3.
For the
final
Browns, I mean,
But-
this question might be for Kurt, but is Joe Flacco starting for the Browns?
score. I hope so.
I like Joe
Should
Flacco
be.
as a
I
starter.
like Joe Flacco. I like
Flacco's going to turn to dust if he gets sacked.
You should put in Shadur. Anyways,
or Dylan Gabriel.
I think that's going to be it for us today. I'm Max Spitza. I was joined today by Bradley Birne and Luis Andrade. Kurt Sipple, he was behind the board for us, as well as on the producer mic. Maggie Dene was giving you those great graphics that we had today. And Bobby Traffordini is our sports director. This was One-on-One, a WFUV production.